Alrighty, we're back in the Sunless Sea. Last time we were playing with Sir Madam Helgan. We'd gone off on a few runs down to the down to Port Carnelian, as well as to up to Venderbite, Codex, and Wither. And we just found the salt lines not too far away from us. So now we've got a excellent source of echo that we can make. We've also encountered the venturer here. The venturer, who wants his traditional trade of either bolts of spider silk or probably more likely Mount Palmerston with the 7 zoop. So, we have also picked up the Scintilic from, I believe it was Pigmote Isle. Yes, there it is, Pigmote Isle down here. And we'd set off to run a bit back and forth from the Salt Lions location. I think this one we will probably try to explore a little further up here. I assume that Mount Palmerston will be over there. Let's double check first if we've got anything in Fallen London to do. We do have another, a free evening to use up, so we could do that. Our hull is full. So let's see here. I suppose we could just carouse around here. We haven't yet talked to the Cladary heir about who she believes her father to be. That we have met her father, I believe. Yes. I do believe we've met her father in Venderbite when we visited there. One of the times we visited there. We have a request from the Blind Bruiser to go find the last constable, who is has been spotted in a few locations. Those being Demo Island, Guider's Mourn, Khan's Heart, and Venderbite. The only location of those which we've found so far, I believe, is Venderbite. I don't think we've happened upon any other areas yet that are listed there. So maybe we'll take a quick run up to Venderbite. Let's see. We've got 6 fuel and 3 supplies, so not a terribly high amount. I might just buy a little bit to get to Venderbite. I think our fuel will be fine. We'll upgrade our supplies to 4 here. Now let's just take a quick trip to Venderbite. See if we can find anything out about that constable. What we were looking for. We've gotten our terror quite a bit reduced from where it was at before. We were sitting around 50, and then we had a few positive events go off. We got a tattoo, which raised our veils, I believe. And that also reduced our terror by 50. So I think we'll just travel here without the light on. Just for a while. Just because it'll save us that little bit of fuel. We won't talk to the sisters. I don't want to saturate their usages here, but we will grab the port report. Doesn't look like doesn't look like they're present anyway. So let's get ourselves a going. There's a steamship out here. Did he see us? Not quite. We'll just sneak up on him. There we go. We were playing more of a combat-focused character this time around. We are a soldier. We've got lots and lots of iron from both our stats and from our officers here. So let's see what she's got on her. Some parabola linen. That's nice. We got something waits us back, which is just in time as we're coming up on Venderbite. Alrighty, so. Oh, wow. We've only got a 10% chance of success here. On the trail gives you a 10% chance of success. I wonder if this is because she's here, or because this is not tied to a stat as far as I can tell. I assume it would be mirrors if it were shown, if it were the case, but it doesn't look like there's any stat checks. So I guess since we have so many locations to check out, it's just probably an escalating chance of finding any of them. Or rather, finding the constable in any of them. Let's see. Search for the last constable. There is whispering among the bandaged denizens of Venderbite. White carriages are visiting an abandoned storehouse. Maybe the constable is looking into that. Well, let's go see here. Nothing but the newly dead. Inside the storehouse, you find coffins propped against the walls and laid across the floor. You pry one open, cracking the half-rotten wood. An immaculately dressed corpse frowns within. It tries not to stir. You open another and another, until one gently takes you by the wrist. We cannot die truly here, but some of us would like to pretend. Won't you leave us in peace? Interesting. So I guess they didn't go to, last, what was the location called? There is a location that the tomb colonists go to permanently end. The Grand Sanatorium, that's the one. Alrighty. It doesn't look like our bale of parabola linen. Yes, it doesn't look like our bale of parabola linen fulfills any of the colors. So, I think that's just about all we have to do in Venderbite. We can pick up Port Report. And I suppose we might as well use our Something Awaits Us up here to explore Venderbite. Let's give that one a shot. The Carmine Chapel. A little chapel stands alone. You poke your head through the door. The walls are a deep red, just this side of scarlet. A ruby-tinted window at the back glows with a steady light, an electric lamp behind the glass. Rare and expensive, but this is no gaslight. No one is here, and yet you have the sensation that only a moment ago someone must have been. Interesting. So it seems like something to do with consuming human flesh is here, considering the unaccountably peckish, I believe, regards cannibalism. Let's see if we can find anything here. Anhungred. Anhungred? There's an altar, a block of basalt. There are pews, a pulpit, no Bibles, no hymn books. The stained glass window is the red of cochineal? Cochineal? An inscription on the lintel of the door reads, "For I was anhungred, and ye gave me meat." That is all. Your crew are eager to leave, no one looks back. Okay, we gained some fragment from it, and we gained a bit of terror, which I agree with. That's a creepy thing to stumble upon here. Doesn't look like we have anything to sell off or buy here. So I think, now that we've checked this location out, we can head back to Fallen London. I think our next path will be doing a quick run down to the Iron Republic for fuel. I think it'll take us maybe 4 fuel to get from here to the Iron Republic in total. I'll pick up at least 5 before leaving Fallen London. We'll head down to Port Carnelian for some food, as well as to see if we can expand our submarine construction a little bit, since we know that's down there. And then we'll head up to Pigmote Isle, see what we can find around there. Hopefully this will just be a rote trip, though our last captain did die on what we thought was a rote trip, so we'll have to avoid anything that looks too strong. Yes, I think that is the option here. So let's head back down to boring, soggy old Fallen London. We will have to pick up a little bit of food, because we definitely won't be able to make it to Port Carnelian to sate our food needs with just the 2 supplies that we have presently. I probably should... Well, no, I've got this area fairly well cataloged. I think we should be fine just to travel around here with our lights off. Maybe when we get closer to the Iron Republic, since there's this whole area we haven't looked around in. We'll turn our lights on there. Okay, our Something Awaits Us is back. Perhaps we'll get some free food from the sisters now that I think about it, just so we don't have to spend on supplies. Got the Z-Bats. Hopefully they haven't noticed us, because there was a sort of glitch the last time we ran into them. They took off quite a bit of health from our ship, but it doesn't look like that's the case this time. Okay, so we have to... The sisters are out, and we have to decide whom to eat with. Last 2 times, we've eaten with Phoebe, and we forgot the last time, and we ate with her again. This time, I do believe we'll eat with Lucy. I believe Phoebe is Storm, Cynthia is Stone, and Lucy is Salt, and we don't have Salt's attention because we use it up on the Salt Lions, with a ritual. Okay. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidentially, a complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of the plot, but somehow the pig ends up in an attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. That'll take off quite a bit of terror, gave us supplies. Oh, I guess Lucy is Stone. I can never keep them straight. Maybe they rotate around. I have a feeling they don't. And it's just that I can't keep them straight, but regardless, we've lost hunger, gained some supplies, and lost quite a bit of terror as well. So let's gather... Oh, I suppose we already have the port report from this location since we already visited it. So let us gather on to Fallen London to pick up our profits here. We ought to get our seafaring economy open in our notebook here. Let's see. Whoops, heading a little... Oh, you can actually pause the game. That I did not know. Apparently, spacebar pauses the game. Our seafaring economy, rather, so that we can determine what we should carry over to the Iron Republic to trade with. We do know, somebody mentioned in the previous stream that there are 4 possible trade points in the Iron Republic. So, I think Iron Republic standard, and perhaps this is just something that I forgot to write down. Trades for Zoop and supplies at a profit. Let's see. The Parliament of Flies trades from romantic literature and scintillic. Actually, we've got the scintillic on us right now. We don't really need the cash, though, so I think I might keep that stored in our hold, just to use up on a possible event later. And then we can purchase Judgment's Egg for a Colossal Flute Core or a Dread Surmise for 9 Searing Enigma, neither of which we have, as well as a Bale of Parabola Linen, but we've actually got that in stock at the moment. Shall I sell the Parabola Linen here? How much does it sell for? Sells for 60 Echo. Our cargo is only at 10, but we are planning on loading up to quite a bit of fuel and supplies in the Iron Republic and Port Carnelian. We do want to get a bit of submariner stuff, which I believe we're using our, our artifact here to get one bit of it, and some Z stories was the other, but we don't have quite as many Z stories, it looks like. So at present, I think 700 echoes is a fair amount. That's quite a bit of money. Write it down. The Sisters Association with the Gods. I could, but frankly, I just don't want to overload. That's not technically a trade, so I don't want to overload my my poor notebook here with too much information, especially since we've got our list of requests down too. Yeah, so we're still looking for King Eater's Castle for our father's bones, as well as the Sea of Lilies for our cook here. I think we'll buy a single bit more fuel. We'll sell off our Parabola Linen. Yes, I think we will sell that off. Should we grab... Let's see, is it you that I need to... No, it's the Dark Drop Coffee that she wishes to talk to me with. I do remember one of our characters here is interested in... I think it might be him. Interested in torpedo components. And I haven't found any other locations with torpedo components for sale. They are only 5 each, and I think he needs 5 if we were to speak to him. Yes, 5 torpedo components. Oh, but he does require quite a bit of fuel. As well as supplies. I'm honestly not super... Well, he says he'd like to demonstrate some ideas I've had. I've had enough to eat, thank you. I don't eat much, but I'd like to demonstrate some ideas I've had. Can you meet me on the afterdeck at 8 bells? So I'm wondering if he's going to give me a weapon or something. If I should do this. Wow, we also have 7 secrets. That's fantastic. We can, maybe we can actually use those. Can we turn them into anything? Doesn't look like it. Still, it's nice to have some secrets to spare. I suppose we can just wander around. We could grab a live specimen from the labyrinth, but that is, I believe, the next step in the Clatter Air, not this immediate one. Oh yeah, and we can't even talk to her about meeting her father here. Wow, there is a lot of steps here. Yeah, so I think we need to learn about her father before we can tell her about meeting her actual father, whom her mother like muted as a surgeon. She performed surgery on him so that he couldn't talk to her. But we need to we need to find a strange catch in order to do that. And we could romance her too. But I think we'll leave that for a later date. I do want to expand out on all of these quests here. Since this only requires a sack of dark drop coffee beans, and the dark drop coffee beans aren't terribly expensive. They are 50 here in Fallen London, 50 Echo. They are 38 in one of the Iron Republic's shops. We're not sure which one. Maybe we'll see if we can pick those up in the Iron Republic and talk to her there. We've got... Oh, you know what? We've got to talk to the Admiralty first to drop off our port reports. Standard sort of stuff, but it will get us fuel, as well as a little bit of echo. Not a terribly high amount, but... Gotta move in the Great Game. I don't want to hand this over to him because I want to see if I can use the I want to see if I can use them somewhere, because this is very much suggests that this is a sort of spy network thing, and I know that you can actually access that somehow. And apparently, if we can get any red honey, he will be happy with us. But I think we won't do that right now. Save the secrets, use them to upgrade your veils in case the salt line thing happens again. Yes, but considering our veils is only at 33, I'm pretty sure that's maxed out with the officers that we have available to us. And that salt line thing is at 75, I think it was. That'll be a lot of secrets to upgrade to that level. That'll be an absurd amount of secrets. So I don't think relying on that to happen. I think if that happens again, since we know it'll take so many to drop them off, I don't want to be stuck with that lodestone around my neck again. I'm just going to give them to the Grand Geode people. They might be too good looking and too shiny and whatnot, but at least they pay, hopefully. For now, let's check out our lodgings. I wonder if we can upgrade them yet. Elegant Townhouse is apparently 1,000 echoes, which we don't have. Shouldn't be too long before we do have it with the Salt Lion trade. And that does allow us to get a will going. But I also want to get our ship upgraded. Just to something a little more hefty. Looks like the next upgrade here is... No, the Nereid is the one we currently have. Lamphead is 3,000 echoes, 2,000 total with our trade-in. That gives us... Oh, that actually gives us less hull. But it gives us all the slots that we don't currently have here. It gives us a forward weapon. I think that might be the only thing it gives us. The Forced has quite a bit of hull, same amount of hold capacity, a higher weight, but I don't know exactly what that means. Bigger quarters and a bit of an iron bonus. And the Caligo is a merchant cruiser. That gives us quite a bit of hold. A whole lot, like, triple our current hold capacity. But it is a weighty boy. It is quite heavy. It's 5 times heavier than our current ship. and it gives us a decrease on veils, which does make sense as a giant ship. It does give us a little bit of a hearts bonus, though. Okay. Maybe we won't have our eyes over at another ship here. And if we were really feeling like it, we could get the Stephelos class, which is a hull of exactly 1. Don't bump into any walls. A hold capacity of 5. And only a crew quarters of 4 here. So that is really a last-ditch effort if we need the 500 echoes just firmly under our belt. Hopefully we'll never have to go for that. I think we'll just use up our free evening at the Wolfstack docks again for a bit of echo. You wake in the back room of Gaston's lampery, head pounding. You've had something to drink, but beyond that, it's a little hazy. Your knuckles are bloody. Your blood, you think. And your shirt bloody likewise. Probably not yours unless your blood is slick and greenish. You've had better nights out. A difficult brew, Gaston says nomically. Okay. Well, we didn't encounter anything there. But got a little bit of tarragon. And a little bit of echo loss, technically. I think we should be good to head out. Buy an extra bit of supply. I think 4 should be enough to get us to the Iron Republic, and maybe even Port Carnelian. I'm debating whether I even want to try to go to the Grand Geode again. If I do, it will just be for the port report, because I don't want to get my brain kind of transfixed by that light that they have going on and get my terror sent up, even though we have terror to spare. I'd rather just go straight from the Iron Republic to Port Carnelian here. There's a lot of empty space that we haven't figured out yet. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're just going to have the 4 supplies here, and our 7 fuel should make us well able to get over to Pigmote Isle and then to the Iron Republic. Then we can pick up more fuel there and go to Pigmote Isle, Port Carnelian, and the Salt Lions. Yeah, we'll just do that. We will just set off like so. And we'll turn our lights off since we're so close to land at the moment. Oh, and there's one of those blue ships. So I don't know what those blue ships are about. Evidently, according to somebody, there was a reason to follow by them. There was, I think, a reduction in terror. They count as land. But they've kind of just popped in and out of existence here. We've never really tracked with them for too long. Looks like there's a fog going on here, so there's no point in turning our lights on anyway. We'll check in on Quaker's Haven. We'll see if they've started their thing yet, we'll call. We've got our Something Awaits Us as well. Let's go check on them. Looks like everything is so far normalish here. They've got the ceremony stuff going on. So, yeah, it costs us a little bit of echo to get the port report, but I don't believe it uses our Something Awaits Us here. I want to see if I can check out the midnight ceremony before what happens. I only have a 40% chance of it, but this hilltop above town doesn't give me too much for the challenge there, even though it is an easier challenge. So I think I'll give it a shot here. A warm night on Mutton Island. A balmy wind blows from the east, rich with promise. There are torches bobbing up the hill. Whatever's happening, it's for locals only, but you could follow them. Too late. You don't know the hill paths like the locals do, and you have to climb more than walk. Your skin is sheened with sweat by the time you reach the top. The black rocks greet you with an empty indifference. If something happened here, you're too late to see it. Still, the climb was good practice. Okay, doesn't look like we ended up having that happen. And we don't need to get rid of our terror, so we won't go to the cock and magpie right now. Oh well. And here's one of those ships. It is... I think the blue ships are London acquainted ships, so we have quite literally no reason to attack them, and I don't think we actually even can. We'll get out of this fog as quick as possible. I suppose we'll go grab a perfunctory report of the Cumaean Canal. Looks like there's a crab over to our right. But it's headed off in the opposite direction we're headed, so we won't mess with it. Okay. We are at the Cumaean Canal. We'll see if we can pick up any more moves in the Great Game. Because we did grab them here the last time we were present. I do believe that requires something awaits us, though. Perfect, and we just picked one up. So we've been at sea for long enough there. Let's go to get ourselves to dock. So we can grab the port report. Doesn't give us too much, but it does give us fuel. We can grab some gossip here as well. Daylight. This would be a prime spot for a pub or wine shop, but the interests of the Echo Bazaar and the laws of London prevent it. They don't like the competition. Still, there are temporary, half-legal hostelries and long-moored ships. Here you trade stories with suntan surface sailors, stories of Paris and Batavia, the Lost Fires, and the Final Isles. Well, we got a vision of the surface, which we can trade in Venderbite for. Nothing interesting about the shops. Everything's pretty perfunctory there. So, we'll head on down to the Iron Republic. We'll get ourselves a little mad. Can we take down this Gillyfleur before it spots us? Our weapons aren't charging. Guess it's just too far out here. Oh, here we go. Does it know we're here? Sort of does. We'll just back up. Lights on. Take a shot at it. There we go. 2 shots to get it down. We could eat it. Our hunger is cleared. Or we could grab a port report of a visage. I'm not sure. I don't think it actually gives us a port report. Every time that I've given it a shot, I don't believe that it has. I think we'll scoop it up. Well, we're at 2 supply. Yeah, I think we'll scoop it up. This will give us enough to make it to Port Carnelian, even if we don't end up getting any getting a good supply trade at whatever market it is in the Iron Republic. Barrel of former jellyfish. It'll wait in the hold like a cup of dissolved moon. One day you will eat it, or perhaps it will eat you. Okay. Standard creepifying sort of things. I believe that over here is where the Iron Republic will start to surface. Now, before we set off from the Iron Republic, I'm going to want to fill up my fuel supplies here. I'd like to not have to purchase any more fuel, if I can help it, before we hit, well, anywhere, really. But I don't want to overstuff myself in case I pick up anything on Pigmote Isle or in Port Carnelian. I do believe we will actually trade our outlandish artifact in Port Carnelian for the submarine stuff there. That does not take up a cargo slot, so... Well, we're definitely not letting our zailors ashore here. That would end poorly, and it costs an absurd amount of money. The cavalry doctrine. Or no, the Calvary doctrine, not cavalry. We could grab the port reports. Lost 2 hearts, sadly. This is a different port report. New passions. The sensations of the Republic are overwhelming. This is a desire for years. That is a hatred for Fountain. Here's an emotion that can only be expressed mathematically. Now you're awash with a nostalgia for the hatching of an egg. Write it down, write it all down. Perhaps you'll be rid of it. Got the port report. Lost 2 hearts. Cavalry doctrine open for business. Tale of terror and a memory of distant shores. So, the Calvary doctrine is already open according to the chatting here, but it doesn't look like it is actually open. So it looks like we do have to use our something awaits us. Not that we have anything else to use it for other than the sending our men ashore, which I think would be a terrible idea. So let's go open that up. Oh no, the Gesundheit conspiracy is open for business. On days such as this, the market is filled with crucified dragons and laws in waiting. They whistle a welcome. Interesting. So what does the... I've already forgotten what it wants. Gesundheit conspiracy. Zoop and sacks of dark drop coffee beans. Okay, so that looks like the default Iron Republic sale that I have here. So I'll make sure to mark this down as the Gesundheit conspiracy market. Oh, how do you spell Gesundheit? G-E-Z-H-E-U. Gesundheit. E-I-T? It doesn't have to be perfect, but that does not look like how you properly spell Gesundheit. At least I know what it means. We will pick up those dark drop coffee beans though, and when we get to Port Carnelian, we can talk. We'll pick up more supplies and talk to our presbyterate adventurous. Pick one of these, and I think we'll pick up a full 10 fuel. Maybe 15. I think 15 fuel should be plenty. And it'll leave us with room in cargo. Yeah, I think that'll be perfect. I don't think there's anything more in the Iron Republic for us to do. Nothing particularly interesting. We don't want to sell off any of our supplies because we're already low as is. So we'll just set off to... Let's see. Set off in sort of a westernly direction here. Or easternly direction, rather. So we can clear out some of this blank space we haven't explored. I don't expect it to have changed. So it'll probably still be either empty ocean or something of the like. And I do want to keep our light on because we are actually exploring unknown areas here. Oh, apparently we've found somebody to fight. There's nobody there that I can see. Oh, it's a big old shark is what I can see. Z is warm here. Bubbles rise and burst with lazy menace. Fire in the earth is restless. Discovered a particularly tormented bound shark from the dark Untersee. I wonder if that's something added by the submarine stuff then. Curious. Okay, we've headed a little far out. We're actually over by... So do we know how much health this shark has? 210. That is... Ooh, uh-oh. I didn't mean to throw on my light here. All right, let's burn some fuel here. Get out of range, hopefully. Okay, we'll just try to get out of the shark's range and stay out here. Okay, we are clearing out some of that black unexplored area. Evidently, there's not too much for us to find on the way down in that area. And there's that big old fish that killed us last time, so we are going to steer a wide berth around it. Please turn left. The Bahee mustache. That I didn't know. Oh my god, it's already aggroed on us? How did it find us? Okay. He's gone past us. Hopefully he'll lose us in this fog. How has he found us here? He seems to be stuck around the fog here. I don't think we'll need to do a full burn to get him off our trail. Yeah, and he has lost us. We've got whatever these blue flying bird things are down past Port Carnelian. So let's go dock ourselves up here. So we have the 3 locations where we could grab a port report of Port Carnelian. Last time we talked to the tiger. I think this time again we will talk to the Khanate. We'll just make our way from the bottom up. The diplomats of the Khanate were expelled from Port Carnelian following the Galatea incident. Only one remains behind. Not in any official capacity, you understand. We could pan for some sapphires as well. We got a 50% chance there. We don't have a diplomatic agent. No, we do have the 100 Echo, but we don't have a diplomatic agent to insinuate an agent here. And we don't have any networks to Port Carnelian here to influence the affairs. So I think we'll talk to the Khanate diplomat, the unofficial Khanate diplomat. Off the record. No, I'm retired now, he tells you cheerfully. His crockery is white as the moon and rimmed with gold. Over tea, he comments sympathetically on the governor's difficulties. I feel for the man, I really do. And asks probing questions regarding your own travels. You managed to squeeze in a few of your own. Oh, the Khan is very fond of sapphires. Blue is his favorite color. And we've got the port report. We don't need to reduce our terror. We've only got 20. We don't have our submarine yet, so we can't take this specialized collector's quest here. Let's go, before we do anything else, let's go pick up some supplies. Could buy the casket of sapphires. If we were headed to the Khanate, I would be likely to do that since the what's the Khanate diplomat mentioned that the Khan is fond of them. But I don't believe we shall. We will pick up as many supplies as I decree we need. At present, we're at 19 of 40 cargo. We need 20 if we're going to get to the Salt Lions to carry their supplies back. So I think I'll pick us up to... Carrying this much fuel is kind of a mill around our neck, as well as the cargo supply amount that we have. And I don't know what we'll pick up at Pigmote Isle once we try to solve their problems for them, assuming we do even solve their problems for them or get anything out of the situation. I think I'll pick up at least 8. I think 8 will do us fine to kind of head in the northernly direction, kind of meandering around. I think we'll burn enough fuel and enough supplies with our full crew here to do that. As for the other stuff we're going to do, let's go visit that hidden workshop and let's see. We could give the bribes here. I think we'll start with the outlandish artifact we have. I will mentally consider this the artifact that is not the rapier. Was it a rapier or was it some other type of sword that we got from the poor fellow who fell overboard at Venderbite? The poor tomb colonist, the very drunk tomb colonist that fell overboard. But we'll give the other one that we found here. Heretofore, its purpose was mysterious, but the chief engineer insists it's precisely what they need. Lessons of the past. Within the hour, they've stripped it down, flensed it for everything they can learn, and incorporated their discoveries into the modification of your ship. progress, the chief engineer exclaims. Now, T. You now have 60. You can trade Z-stories, Stygian ivory, outlandish artifacts, or extraordinary implications to increase this. X, experimental modifications. So how many do I need in order to... looks like I need 100 in order to get to this next phase of getting Zonar schematics. I'm already at 60. Don't have the Z stores to do it, but if I spend 150 Echo, that should be enough here to get us to this this next phase. I think that might be what I do, because I'm not at a particular lack of Echo at the moment. So I think we'll do that. Provide additional funding, specifically apply bribes that the philanthropist cannot be associated with, greasing the wheel. You make a deposit into a blandly named account, and a certain port official turns a blind eye to an incoming cargo of vital but dangerous supplies. Oops, and a single more bit of funding. Same sort of deal. And now we get to phase 2. Retrieve a set of Zonar schematics. The engineers have reached an impasse. It's the Zonar. It's unreliable, loud, and stops working before 70 fathoms. But the Admiralty and the Khanate must have cracked this back in the day. So let's see what this has to say to us. The engineers brim with conspiracy theories about the old submarine programs. Before the agreement about nothing of consequence, London's Admiralty conducted their submarine research at Station 3. The location of the Khanate research base is unknown, but a number of its scientists relocated to the Khan's shadow. Or no, relocated to Khan's shadow. Perhaps one of these locations has information you could use. We have never seen Station 3 before. We had a quest for it a couple of captains ago. I think our first captain had a quest to reach Station 3, but we never saw it, not once. We have similarly never seen Khan's shadow, or really anything of the Khanate. We hear about them in certain locations, Port Carnelian being one of them, but we have never encountered anything that looked like it was the Khanate as far as I know. So I think, well, at least we've got the quest for it. We've got the ability to presumably research around when we do want that to happen. So I'll write down that quest, the Submariner. We need to go to either Station 3 or the Khan's Shadow. Or Khan's Shadow, no, the present. And that's in Port Carnelian. That we need to return to. Okay. Well, we've got our quest. Is there anything else here that we can do? Pan for sapphires. That'll use up our something awaits us, and we don't have anything else to do with that. So I think that's what we're going to do. We've got about a 50-50 chance of doing it. Glimmer of truth. Braving the jungle's violet spore drifts, you find a narrow stream. You kneel among the red-capped agarics that spot its banks. It doesn't heave with sapphires as the stories promise, but an afternoon's panning yields a pocket full of glittering shards. Success and 35 echo to show for it. Perfect. And now that we've got lots of supplies to spare, let's go have a nice little coffee with our presbyterate adventuress. Invite her to dine with you. Captain's cabin, is it? All right, but I want a coffee sorbet for dinner. What? I like coffee sorbet. No sorbet, no dinner. Excuse me, someone's caught fire again. A pleasant evening. Yes, I was in the Navy. Did you think I'd stolen the uniform? I retired before they threw me out. She grins and spoons more sorbet on her plate. I'm older than I look. We're all older than we look to you people. Well, we got a Z story from it. Nothing particularly interesting, though. Does she have anything else? Well, we could get another with a sack of dark drop coffee beans. Is that cheap here? Same price. Maybe it'll tell us something more? It'll be an iron challenge, a 50-50 iron challenge. So I'll tell her what. I will do that. And I'll buy up 2 supplies here. And we'll give it another shot. Invite her to dine with you again. I've got an idea, she says. Sorbet. And arm wrestling. A closely fought battle. You're strong, but she's stronger. She grins. I'll be old soon, but not yet. You spend a pleasant evening reminiscing about and swapping tales. You learn a little about the Elder Continent. Its sleeping forests, speaking tigers, mountain pilgrims. Wow, so we failed with our Iron 66? Amazing. We gained a little bit of fragment. We got... Oh no, we lost some terror. We obviously lost the supplies and the dark drop coffee beans. So I wonder if... Yeah, so I guess we don't get to try that again. I wonder what we would have received if we'd won. Maybe the option to romance her? Something like that? Who knows? Okay, I think we'll just head up to Pigmoat Isle. We can skirt the right-hand edge of our known location here. See if we can find any islands we missed on the way up. We'll head up to Pigmoat Isle and the Salt Lions. And we should... whoops, that's the horn button. We're at 24 of 40 right now. We should eat and use our way down to that being within range of the required cargo space for the Salt Lions by the time we get there. Velton's Vortex, right? The 2 Vortex Seas here. Just have to make sure that I don't end up getting swallowed up by them. And then we'll head a little bit this way. And I'll keep my light on such that we can find anything out here. Okay. The Z is warm here. Bubbles rise and burst with lazy menace. Fire in the earth is restless. So it seems like a volcanic sort of area. Ooh, there's a ship out here. Is that a rat ship? So what is this? 130 out of 130. It's a rat barge, evidently. I'm not unfriendly with the rats at the moment. We'll just sneak by them. I think we would have been able to take them if we'd tried for it and we'd gotten a good position to start with, but since they were sort of sailing at us already and we don't have anything particularly against the rats at the moment, I think we'll leave them alone. I definitely don't want to lose our ship to... Oh, more rat barges. Lose our ship to anything foolish here. Uh-oh. It seems like they've discovered us. We'll try to sail around this rock and lose them. Oh, though perhaps that's not going to be the case. Will they lose sight of us as we pass over this? They're sailing into the rock? No. Okay, yeah, they've lost us here. Alright, we're out of their line of vision. Doesn't look like there were any islands between Port Carnelian and Pigmoat Isle. Okay, I've got no idea what we were spotted by there. Nothing interesting, at least. And here we go. We're at Pigmoat Isle. We've got another something oasis, so we can solve whatever problem they have. Let's go see how our little civilization is doing. I bet those rat ships... Maybe those are coming from Pigmoat Isle. I don't know why they'd be angry at me, then. We seem to be pretty good... pretty good relations. We'll acquire the port report. Fuel for the Admiral's fireplace. Captain Whiskers, the Admiralty calls you, so you've heard. At least they pay to laugh at your reports. Well, it's something. Okay, let's go resolve a dilemma. An aid runs over. Hairless advisor, you return to us. Praise the tide. We need your wisdom once again. The aid takes you deep into the chicken woods. A terrible state of affairs, Hairless advisor. Our young pups turn from our traditions to new and foreign ways. He shudders as he points at something in the middle of the clearing. A crudely made jackal mask sits in a circle of sticks, a bead of scintillic carefully placed in each eye. So we can preach some tolerance here, or we could advocate stern measures. So it looks like stern measures are a challenge. I don't really see what's so terrible about this. This just seems like adults sort of pearl clutching at their kids' unfathomable ways. Is this the equivalent of the internet for these rats? I think it should be fine. We'll preach some tolerance here. Patience. The aide examines the mask. He takes an experimental bite and then shivers. As you say, hairless advisor, we will turn a blind eye for now, though I fear for our future. How can our pups hope to defend our shores if their hearts lie away from our culture? We've lost a little might, but we've gained spirit. Nation must be strong. If this reaches 0, bad things will happen. Okay, so this is sort of a balancing act. We've got to keep them balanced both on spirit and on might, so they have the ability to defend their nation. Interesting. Well, it's a good thing to know. We still haven't increased their civilization. I really don't know how. Perhaps it'll be one of the challenges here. Yeah, so the civilization is only at 3. So we really need to boost that up. The might is also a little lower. The spirit's quite high, luckily. So yeah, I think we should be good. We don't really have anything to do. I don't want to steal their rat star. Blue scintillic. Hold on a minute. Wasn't this found on top of like a cave of coral? A wakes Apossian, the blue of memory and brightest coral. I think this might be Apossian. Oh no! So we'd have to... We really have to take this in order to show for Apossian. Maybe there's another way to find blue scintillic. Because scintillic, as standard, is just... I'm pretty sure it's just like a diamond. It's just a pretty clear rock. But a blue scintillic, this is the only place we've come across it so far. And it is very much kept. I mean, it started a whole war. It's really kind of core to this rat society. I wonder if we either get their civilization high enough up, or maybe... I don't know, because I really don't want to take this by force. Maybe... Man, lower the Pigmo's Isles might to make this easier. I don't want to anger the rats. I helped them build this civilization here. Man. Oh, man. I don't want to do that to them. We'll leave it till later. I'm sure our guy will be fine without it for a while. He's super old, but he does seem at least to be stable. And maybe we'll be able to find something else, some other blue scintillic across the isles and islands. Maybe we'll be able to find something else and do it that way. But I think that's all we have to do here. It's a shame they don't give us any tithe or anything like that, considering we're so important to the foundation of their civilization here. I'm actually going to hug the far side of this island. Let's see, our fuel and hunger situation, or fuel and supply situation have now put us in range of carrying all of that Sphinx stone out. So we should be good. I don't know how many transits we have before the event pops up again with the Grand Geode lady and the other fellow. But I certainly shan't be taking the other guy. the other guys offer, considering how much of a challenge it is just to deliver it. Looks like we found the Dubois Maelstrom. It looks like there's a lighthouse to our right somewhere. Got our something awaits us back. Sail a little further. Discovered Lick a Monkey Crag. Curious name. Oh, and there is another big old shark we don't want to deal with. Those have 210 health. So I would like to not tangle with them if we could. That is the same amount of health that got us really good and proper diced on our last captain. I believe we're actually at the same starting hull damage from that as well, so... Doesn't look like there's anything else but open sea here. Yep, and we've reached the salt lions. So it doesn't look like there's anything else beyond open sea in the area. The waves are cluttered with Z-rack, like drowned hair drifting. Maybe more something awaits us, another equivalent message. We'll turn on our lights here in order to reduce our terror gain. Let's go get ourselves a little bit more echo. Alrighty, let's go dock here. Got the salt lines. We'll compile that port report just to have something to give back. We'll grab the Sphinx Stone with the echo we have. And I suppose we'll just visit the Unmakers because there's not much else we can do right now. Fungal tisane and tea cakes. Yep. Everything pretty standard. Station 4. Unofficially. Maybe it's officially Station 4 here. They just unofficially don't really consider it that way. But I think that's just about everything we can do here. Yeah, it looks like it. Dang, if we had a bigger ship, we could take more per run back and forth from the salt lines here. Oh well. Let's go get ourselves home. We can just turn off our lamp here. Save some fuel. I wonder if it's a good option to grind it out a little bit. Because I've been trying to do something new per trip, but since we've got such a great option here with the salt lions, they're really close by. They get us lots of money per run. Maybe it's a better option to just run them back and forth a few times, build up our echo, and see if we can get ourselves something better. Get ourselves a proper mansion, get ourselves a better ship, something like that. I wonder if that's the correct option here. Breath of change. Cool, cool. I think that's just our something awaits us. I don't know how important visiting Port Carnelian is to our economy of sorts. What we could do is we could just run back and forth from the salt lines, and then whenever we needed a quick fuel restock, we could head to the Iron Republic and then Pigmote Isle while on the way. Because I think the 2 echo difference between Port Carnelian and here for supplies is really not worth the whole trip it takes to get down there. Something has changed. Blind Bruiser's still doing his thing. Nothing has changed about the Rose Market. Just double checking this over here. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything we have. Maybe we should cycle them out, because I don't expect finding a live specimen to be a good trade, as well as long boxes. I haven't found any long boxes beyond at quest, so maybe we'll spend our day ashore changing that out. We could also use some terror. First, I suppose we'll deliver the Sphinx Stone so it's not trapped in our hold, rather. And still got plenty of crew. Haven't even lost a little bit of crew. Let's go. Ooh, we could get another officer, and it might be an engineer this time. I love picking up as many officers as I can. There's so many possible stories and quests and stuff that you can do here. So this just requires some supply. Shouldn't be that bad. Let's talk to the crew what we can, at least for now. So let's talk to our navigator here. Invite him to dine with you. His admirable appetite for so slight a fellow, forgetfulness, seconds and thirds disappear in small hasty morsels. He is nervous, not a gifted conversationalist. Do your best to plug the silence. When you ask about his past, he winces. I can't say, sir, this, he taps the livid sigil on his temple, which twitches like a scorpion's sting, has burned away my memories. I recall I have a brother, but not his name or where he is. I remember the names of the ships I've served on, the Implicit, the Bonnie Swan, but not their crew. How did he come by the sigil? He clutches his head. I don't know. Thinking about it is like a fire in my skull. He grits his teeth. Someone must have hated me very much to curse me with it, but I can't even remember my enemy. Speak to him again to advance his story. Ooh, I wonder if he'll... Oh, we can actually just speak to him for free. Fantastic. Okay, Captain, my sleep is riddled with dreams, sir. Dreams of bells and candles. A destination. He paces the deck. I see a lonely house lit by tallow and wick. A bell is ringing. It rings now. Do you hear it? He scratches at his sigil, which has begun to bleed. Do you know this place, Captain? Can I plot a course? A place of candles and bells. The Chapel of Lights. A northern church where no sin is too terrible. Okay. We have a quest. So the navigator... Which navigator? Sigil-ridden navigator. Sigil-ridden navigator wants us to go to the Chapel of Lights in the somewhere in the north. Okay, so just looking down the line here of where we're looking at, King Ear's Castle is in the far southeast. The Sea of Lilies is in the central east. Savior's Rock and the Connate are in the east and central of the map, respectively, and Mount Palmerston is in the north, where we can get the Zoop. Con Shadow, we don't know where it is, neither do we know where Station 3 is, and now we have the Chapel of Light in the north. So maybe exploring the north is a good option here. We've already talked to him about the Sea of Lilies, and it doesn't look like he has anything else to say. I suppose we could talk to him. It's free. Yep. Nothing new to say. We don't have the... what is it here? The strange catch to talk with her about her father. Let's go check our other officers. Right, our Blimmigan's just bored. Our rat doesn't have anything to say, and our ferret is still just a poor ferret. Feel really bad about that one. Mog identically has nothing to say. Could get the torpedo components, but the rest of it, 10 fuel and 5 supplies, is a whole lot of investment to talk to this cannoneer. Let's see, the first officer requires searing enigmas, and we've never come across that. Nor do we have a salt song to ask her something about. And the surgeon requires some muter salt before we can talk to her. And this is the campaigning... what is her official title? The Brisk Campaigner. It's her official title. So I don't believe we have anything else to talk to our crew about. Do we want to hire on more officers? Maybe it'll use up our day ashore, but beyond cycling the Rose Market, I don't see anything worthwhile to put there. Let's go check out new recruits. Maybe's daughter? At the end of the rotting dock, a woman perches on a suitcase. Both she and the suitcase are noticeably cleaner than everything else in view. Hello, where are you headed? On second thoughts, I don't mind. Can I come aboard? Yes, I'm an engineer, but I'm an engineer in a hurry. Ooh, increases veils, iron, and engine power. I wonder if... I wonder if that'll increase fuel usage as well. Either way, we need an engineer. And it's another officer, you know? Welcome aboard. If anyone comes looking for me, well, I'm not accepting colors. Can I trust you to pass that on? You don't want them distracting me from my duties. Let's go get her. So we have no idea who she is. A smile, a wink, and a butterfly tattoo. An intense and detailed knowledge of weaponry and engines. Interesting. Let's talk to her. Invite her to dine with you. She too requires a strange catch. Or we could proposition her, but we want our veils here to be 20 higher than our hearts. So yeah, she is really looking for a intensely casual relationship, as far as I can tell from this description. Or maybe she just wants a liar. That could be what that means. I think... Well, we can't really do anything with her at the moment. It seems like she increases engine power flatly, but I don't know if the increase in engine power stat is tied directly to fuel usage. Because I know all of the other engines just flat increase engine power as well. But I don't know if it's the fact that you have a new engine that increases your fuel usage, or the fact that the numbers you gain with engine power increases your fuel usage. I suppose we'll see. 100 engine power isn't all that big a gain here. Well, I guess it's 1/8 of our current power. So I suppose we should notice something whilst at sea. If it does end up happening to be a increased drain. If nothing else, we've got a faster ship, even if it does require a little bit more fuel. And we've got an engineer now. We've got every single slot filled up. So let's go talk to the Admiralty here. Submit our port reports for some free fuel. Main canal, pretty perfunctory. Everything about Pigamote Isle is ridiculous to them. The Iron Republic is rather spooky. Oh, this is new. Voomf. No, I didn't expect that to happen. Well, perhaps it's for the best. Some reports should not be reported. No, don't concern yourself. This was my third best suit, and the Admiralty offers a modest allowance for document-related damage. Perhaps it's best if you leave now, though. Okay, we didn't get any echo for that. I think what this is describing is such that it went up in flame, the document? So that's actually different from the document we had before. The first document that we submitted for the Iron Republic, I think the first couple have been completely blank. So I guess it's not always identical. Oops. I think we still have more port reports to submit. Yes, Port Carnelian. Some echo, fuel, and no change in Admiralty's favor since we've just submitted a pretty standard one. Okay. Nothing else to communicate with him about, I don't believe. So I think got plenty of fuel for supply. Since we've got so much fuel and so little supply, I'm going to do a quick run to back and forth from the salt lines. That's the one. My brain took a second to engage here. It won't use up too many supplies, so it would be fine with our 4, and we've got our excess fuel to spare. Once we're done with that, I want to head up to the north of the map here, because Mount Palmerston should still be somewhere up around there. We can pass by Venderbite and everything. We'll grab a few supplies when we come back to Fallen London from the salt lines. Mount Palmerston should be up there, and we should be able to get Zoop. We need 7 Zoop to complete the Venturer's tasks. So once we do that, once we get the profit back from the salt lines, we should definitely have enough Echo to get that 7 Zoop. I don't remember the price. Let's check our catalog here for Mount Palmerston. It looks like Zoop is 70 Echoes there. So if we get 10 of them, that will be 700 Echoes. Hold on a moment. Okay, he gives 1,000. For some reason, I had it in my head that he gave us 700 Echoes for the Zoop. So I thought we were going to be trading exactly even. It turns out we don't make quite as much of a profit as I had thought we would. But for now, let's just do that quick run to the Salt Lions. Keep our lights off here. Frankly, on most of the way as well. I do think we're moving a wee bit faster. And I can't tell if our fuel consumption has gone up or down here. So we'll just have to assume that it's doing about the same. I haven't kept a track of how quickly or slowly it increases or decreases, or rather, how quickly or slowly it just decreases, because obviously if fuel, it's not going to increase. As far as I can see, it seems about the same. I don't know. Doesn't seem anything particularly high to me. So where are these salt lines? They're just about on the level here. There was a crab down there I was going to take a look at. It was a larger one, so we wouldn't have been able to fight it, but I think we would have gotten fragments from just seeing it. We'll turn our lamps on here. Okay. We have made port. Go pick up our Sphinx Stone. Might as well talk to the Unmakers. We don't have the space, though we do have the Echo to pick up that more Sphinx Stone. And I suppose we might as well talk to the Unmakers. Doesn't look like anything interesting. And I guess we could compile the port report, but I don't think... It's frankly been so recent since getting it. I don't even know if the price that we'll receive... Maybe it's a flat price. Who knows? Maybe it doesn't change whatsoever. But I don't think the price will change too much. Too terribly much. But we'll just set back on. This is a pleasantly easy journey. I really hope the event doesn't come through anytime soon, because we would be able to make so much. I don't think it'll even take 3 fuel and maybe 1 supply just to get to and from the location here. So if we manage to keep in the good graces of the Ministry of Public Decency, I think it is, we should totally be fine for this. Like, this is a great money-making option. Okay, the stars are shifting in the cavern roof. Let's go see. We got a 50-50 chance for it to be good. The raid wheel. One Zailor claims it resembles the sun. Another, a Hindu mandala cross. A third suggests the rose windows of Chartres Cathedral. This excites mockery. Nevertheless, the reaction is positive. Great. We lost a little bit of terror. Don't mind if I do. We'll just turn on the lamp for this slow crossing here. There we go. We're back in the light. We're right by Fallen London. Okay, we've made it back. Harbor Master stuff, everything is happening. We've got our Sphinx Stone to deliver, nice and easy. We've got a new recruit we could pick up. Man, I want to assemble as many officers as possible. I just really want to get that done. I'm super excited about getting them all. But I should do something else. Like I keep using up all of my something oasis, or rather my free evening on just picking up new recruits when we really don't need them in terms of anything. I don't know what carousing does other than giving you romance. I don't think the romance option, it didn't really do too much when we last took it with our first captain. What the heck, we're just gonna grab new recruits again. Just a zailor. Okay, nothing interesting this time. Do not want to pick up a new zailor. We're already at 9. We've got too many already. We'll turn in our port report from the salt line. Guess we still get everything even though we're just there. And do we have anything interesting in our hold that we've picked up? Visions of the Surface. We can sell that off at Vendor Bite. Tales of Terror Z stories. Yeah, not a whole lot here. So I think we'll just pick up supplies. Start heading up north. We'll pick up, let's say 8 supplies. Yeah, 8 supplies should be good. 12 should be fine, especially since Port Palmerston, or rather Mount Palmerston, sells fuel at a discounted price to Fallen London. I think it's just by 1, but it is still a net upgrade here. I think that's all we'll buy here, unless we can sell something at Port Palmerston. Mount Palmerston, keep getting that wrong. Unless we can sell something at Mount Palmerston for a profit here. Looks like they purchase... Wow, really nothing. Yeah, looks like they only sell Devil Bone dice, ambiguous eeliths, and Zoop. So not a whole lot we can do there. But the Zoop will at least complete our quest for the Venturer's desire here. So I think that's what we're going to do. Let's just get ourselves north. I think what we'll do in terms of pathing is we'll head to the salt lines and head out just straight up from there. And we can head a little diagonally for that. That should be fine. I wonder if Mount Palmerston happens to be close enough by that it's not a huge deal, we might even pick up the Zoop there, head down to the Salt Lions, and head to Fallen London all in one run. So we could get the Sphinx Stone as well, profit off of that. This area is pretty well explored, so I'll keep that lamp off, actually. Our terror is doing... It's within acceptable bounds. Yep, we're hitting on the salt lines. How far out are we from undiscovered territory? Not terribly. Sailing across the ocean when there's no islands or anything as a point of reference does feel remarkably slow. Okay, fed the crew. Everything pretty much standard. Alright, we're at the undiscovered layer here. So let's start heading north. We'll try to head around this fog embankment. We'll also turn our lamp on here so we can make some discoveries. Looks like it's just some volcanic islands here. Demuse Gate is evidently somewhere around here. The Phosgene Bleaks, okay. We're a little further out than I actually want it to be. Oh, and we've discovered the Iron and Misery co-funging station. We will be able to... there will be a few things we actually need to do here. So we need to talk to somebody from the Admiralty. We need to drop off our passenger, who evidently has a target here. And we need to look for the detective here. The last detective. So... let's go see if we can do all that at once. Alrighty, so this doesn't use up anything. The Iron and Misery Company Funging Station, I&M, has a funging operation here, felling giant bulbous shrooms for building materials, harvesting curaleaf for its medicinal properties. It's a desperate little outpost of something like civilization. Up puffs the affable factor. Oh, Captain, thank God for visitors. We'd go quite mad here otherwise. Ah, ha ha ha. Quite mad. How can we be of assistance? Alrighty, first thing to do. I just want to make sure that nothing I get is, nothing that I pick up is exclusive. So it looks like the Nomic Gallivant is fine. I'll talk to the affable factor first so we can get our Admiralty quest done. Give the pass sign to the affable factor. The Admiralty has asked you to bring back strategic information. This is your contact. A strange smile. Here, little to report, but we have had Connate privateers nosing about. And tell them that the company grows suspicious. Mr. Iron knows the Admiralty is interested in his business. Pray, my friend, that you never have to serve two masters as I do. We've got some more strategic information. Alright, let's go stand in the right place at the right time for the Nomic Gallivant. I don't like comedians. I'm a very serious man. But we agree on one thing, timing. That's why I'm breaking into the Factor's home and why I need you to distract him until I've found my special itinerary. A pleasant distraction. It just so happens that you bump into the Factor on his walk home. What a happy coincidence. You couldn't possibly manage this entire picnic basket by yourself. Overjoyed to have company, he joins you on a beach for the next hour, merrily eating sandwiches. You take your leave once you've seen the Gallivant pass by. Back on your deck, the Gallivant laughs jovially. His rubies wink in the light. Iron and Misery will be sending a representative to the contest in Port Cecil. Cecil? Something like that. There is a full itinerary of all the events tailored for every attendee. I have the dictator's moves mapped. So we need to go to a chess tournament, evidently, in Port Cecil. Cecil. I don't know which. One of the two of those. But we have the initial quests done for the Nomic Gallivant. So now we've got the next steps here. Need to go to Port Cecil. Cecil? I don't know how to pronounce that. One of those two of those is for sure correct. Though I bet now that I say that it's going to be Cecil or Keckle or something like that. Probably not. Last thing we can do is search for the last constable. Join the Fungers at their dinner table. Listen to their talk. Could the constable be among them? Breaking up the ring. You share your Z stories with the Fungers over their meals. Eventually, a small group invites you to an entertainment. That evening, you meet them in a thicket. Two kneel around a pit, prodding Blemigans with sticks. The third stands, smoothing his mustache. I think we're ready to open our fights to the rest, says one of the kneeling men. Have you brought the... Ah! The mustached man brings a truncheon down on their heads. The Blemmigans cheer and begin composing celebratory verses. The attacker turns, their mustache has fallen. Ah, this must be the last constable. Okay, we found him. Wow, it was really only on the second location, too. Interesting. So I wonder what's going to happen here. Odd, you don't look like the kind my father usually employs. Her father? Her knuckles whiten around her truncheon. The cheery man. Are you here to kill me? Attempt to capture her. I'm warning you now, sir. Stand down. You could convince her to return, but that requires a hearts here. Or agree to take her message. Okay, so we're actually looking... The constable is the daughter of the crime boss. The cheery man. Wow, that's fascinating. Okay. I absolutely do not want to kill her. And I'm afraid that if I do that, if I take this option, the iron option, that'll be a possible outcome. And I really don't want that to happen. I could agree just to take her message, because I don't believe that convincing her to return is a good option here. And I hope that none of these options are exclusionary. At least if I can't... If one of these two... I would like to take those. It's only a 25% chance, so I really don't think it'll go through. But I think... Oh, man. Objectively, I have the best option of capturing her. I have over a 50% chance of doing that. But I really don't want to, just roleplay-wise. So I'm going to try to convince her to return, even though it's not a good option and it's probably not going to work. Or try convince her to return, or try to at least. She doesn't seem interested in a reunion with her father. She hears your arguments, but she only shakes her head. Thank you, sir, that's enough. I think it'd be best if you simply took this message to my father instead. I'll be back when I'm good and ready. London is my city, too. Okay, so I guess we don't get a second try. We do at least get her message, so we can deliver that to the cheery man. Let's go grab a port report here. The Admiralty likes to keep an eye on Iron and Misery's activities, the business of spores. Of course, I&M's activities here don't seem that interesting. Nevertheless, record what you can. We don't need a volunteer. We do not need another sailor. Or zailor, I suppose. To fix up our crew with. Don't really need supplies either. I think tea with the factor is good, because that'll give us knowledge of the cook, the bandaged poissonniere. The poor fellow needs the company, and he can spare an hour away from his schedule. An interlude. You sit on the veranda of the factor's house looking over the fungal jungle. An expanse of green and sour gold. The air is thick with hovering spores. The scones are stale. Even the tea has a hint of mildew. But the factor is good company. He shares odd stories about ice and roses of Irem. About the ice and roses of Irem, the monstrosities of the Sea of Lilies. Oh, okay. A little restaurant in Venderbite where he enjoyed the most extraordinary seafood. Venderbite, I know. I'd never met a tomb colonist who could cook, but you must visit the place. Do you know it? He also has a load of bulgus frond carted aboard to your ship. He waves away your thanks. I have eaten so much of the stuff I fear I might be transformed entirely into fungus. He leans confidentially towards you. It happens, you know, but one does have to eat rather a lot of it first. So we lost a little bit of terror. We got some fragments and some supplies. And now we know that the restaurant is in Venderbite. And that is where we can get the bandaged poissonniere. I believe he requires 300 echo and not much else as far as I know. It'll be nice to have, despite our perfunctories cook here, it'd be nice to have a better cook who gives us better stat boosts. But we also got some hunger cleared out, or rather some supplies filled up. So I'm just going to double check here that I've got the funging station written down here. It is pretty standard. Huh, evidently I don't. How did that happen? Oh no, I see. I have it under Demu Island, which is not technically the name. The Iron and Misery Funging Station. So it is on Demu Island. So it is partially correct. So I've got all of that recorded. We don't need to buy anything here because everything is way over expensive for what it's worth. I think we'll continue heading north with our extra supplies. So let's do that. It's nice that we got all those quest steps out of the way. I really hope the captain there, or not the captain, the cheery man, the gangster, doesn't try to kill us for not bringing back his daughter. I feel like he would be accepting of the fact that we didn't try to fight his daughter and capture her by force, and instead that we're delivering the message. Though I could also see it going the other way entirely. We'll see. We shall see. We haven't ever completed that part of the step, so everything there is new. And in fact, I think the last time that we were employed by him, we actually didn't have to retrieve his daughter at all. He was sickly, so we actually were looking for a cure for something. Winter's Stormbones, St. Eligius sends his fire to dance in the air. On deck, very far away, we see the great light of the Ragged Crow. Is that what this is? Ragged Crow. Yes, it is. Interesting. So, snow sweeps down from the north. The engines labor against it. Yeah, so the snow is actually slowing us down here. Whoa, what is that? That's a moth. That is a big, old, gigantic moth. I can't even... Oh my god! Tyrant Moth is 500 of 500 health. Okay. We're going to head away from that. For sure. Absolutely we are getting out of there. I do not want to even attempt battling that. So let's see. We're not far enough north yet that we're at Mount Palmerston. Will it be further out? Further north or further east? I wonder. I'll turn on our light here. But I think what we're coming across is Codex. Yeah, that's what that is. Boreal Reach is a snow. Touch it, it puffs to vapor. Your crew huddles close to the warmth of the pipe and funnel. So I guess the snow is actually coming from the Tyrant Moth or from the Ragged Crow? I really thought it'd be headed from the north, but I guess that is not the case. I want to find Mount Palmerston. I think it's somewhere out here. I won't go too far in search of it. I'll go a little ways past the Ragged Crow. But I definitely will not get past that. Oh, you know what? It could actually be that the snow that I thought was snow is not actually snow. That's something from the moth there, because it looks to be coming from that central area, and it would make sense that the moth would cluster around the lighthouse, the Ragged Crow here. Okay, we are getting a little low on fuel, though. I'm going to start heading south. I want to keep my lantern on, the light on, just to find new areas. I suppose while the light is over us, we don't really need to. will start heading down. I was really banking on Mount Palmerston to be here so that we could shore up our fuel supplies. We're burning through that at an enhanced rate with our light on and everything. Green glass and basalt, salt and silence. Discovered the Bonnie Reefs. Don't think that's anything that I know. Okay, that's just a Moe's Gate stuff again. I think we might start turning towards home. I think we're too far out now. Ooh, we could take out the ship here. It's circling kind of fast. Okay. Oh, no. He had way more health than I thought. I thought that was just a little ship. Okay, turn. Back the heck off here. Can you see us? We can. He's launching something. Is he? Shoot, I don't have the fuel to burn out here. Okay, he no longer knows that we're here. And Demu Island is just, north of us. Okay, we took a little bit of damage, not a whole lot though. And he's just firing flares at us to keep track of us. If we dock into Demu Island, we should be good. We'll lose his aggro. Okay, looks like he's gotten stuck on the actual rock. Shoot, do we have enough fuel to go to both the Salt Lions and make it back to Fallen London? I don't think we do. So we'll just head straight back home. Well, you know what? I think we do. I think we could absolutely have that happen. We'll take it. Everything lights off here. Electric shiver to the air. Storm is watching, the Zailors would say. Okay, that's fine. We've got the terror capacity to keep our lights off, and that'll cut down on our fuel usage. Blast. Did we get a port report from Demu Island? I think we did. I think we assembled one. Just kind of off of the way of things. Oh yeah, with our lights off, we'll definitely be able to make it back. So yeah, we are totally good to hit up the Salt Lions. Not that we have much of a choice considering we're so close. Uh-oh. A white Zebat. A Zailor has grown fretful and disobedient, reluctant even to go on deck, even in port. Or reluctant to go on deck, even in port. There's a white Zebat watching me up there. Salt's messenger. Salt got its eye on me. I'll never see home again. Ooh, we could feed the Zebat. Presumably... Well, we got plenty of supplies, at least enough to make it back. So yeah, what the heck? Let's go feed it. From your fingers. If white Zebats are sacred to Salt, perhaps you'll win Salt's favor if you believe any of this. From your fingers. The Zebat takes fungal crackers from your fingers as boldly as a parrot. It dips its head to you and chirrups something you might mistake for speech. It spreads its wings and leaps into the air. The next day, your crewman is gone along with one of the ship's boats. No one saw him depart or knows why. We now have Salt's attention. We know something of the three gods of the sea. And we lost some crew. Honestly, that's totally fine. I did not need 9 Zailors in my crew out of 10. We are totally good to lose a sailor. I hope the part where he took a boat doesn't mean it. I hope that's just flavor text. Because if that actually becomes an issue later, that would be a problem. I'd like to figure out what that means. You know something of the three gods of the sea? So let me take a quick pause and check our journal here. What do we know the gods of the sea? There are powers. That's all we know. Maybe that was the first time we had Salt's attention? No, certainly not, because we had we jumped off of this salt lion's the salt lion's face here, and we had Salt's attention at one point, and we had to use that to get the extraordinary implication, or what was it? Honestly, we could probably do that again once we have it, now that we have something waits us and Salt's attention. Okay, well, let's go grab port report. I guess we can't do the whole jumping into the ocean thing. Carry some Sphinx stone back. Oh, I should have checked the hold first. Okay, we are totally good. And visit the Unmakers. Lose some terror, gain some fragments. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Nothing else new here. Let's make it a completely and totally casual trip back home. I want no surprises with the amount of fuel and food that I've got. The crew, cool, nothing of note happening there. We've got our light here with the disappearing blue ships ahead of us. We've got our something awaits us back, and we are right off of Fallen London. We're just about back here. How's our terror doing? 51. A single bit over what gets automatically reset at dock. I know that there is something in the Iron Republic where we get... If we have 70 or above terror here... Hold on a moment. What? Tears. Your cheeks are wet. You think for a moment that it's sweat, but then the sorrow hits you like a falling stalactite. You're weeping, you double over inconsolable. What on earth is this about? Control yourself. Stifle your sobs. What is this? Why this sorrow? Yeah. I haven't lost... I mean, we lost one sailor. Did I have a particular affection for him or her? What was that? We're a soldier. Control yourself. Come on. The ebb tides. You dig your nails into the palms of your hands, pacing this ship. The sorrow retreats like mist to the borders of your thought. You master yourself, but the taste of salt remains. Oh no, we lost Salt's attention from that. Really? Okay, well... Oh, shoot. Okay, well... We've got our meeting with the Blind Bruiser here. Congratulations are in order. I hear that you bring happy tidings, sir, which makes me all that much more glad to welcome you back to London after your certainly perilous voyage. Now to our business. Hand over the last constable's message. Well, you found her, and that is more than anyone else has done. An incoming storm. Suppose it is something to know that she is still alive. Complicated things, families. His lordship wishes me to invite you to drinks at his establishment whenever you should not be busy. Wow, we got 500 from that? That's an amazing amount of echo. Fantastic. Gain 2 fuel, 2 supplies. That's fine. I'm kind of afraid that he's going to stab us in the back, though. We have absolutely nothing to hide here. So, sure, just take our ship and search it. Nothing to hide, you shrug and invite them to search your ship as thoroughly as they would like. They leave scuff marks on the newly scrubbed decks and take great pleasure in tangling the rigging. They find nothing more dangerous than moldy ship's biscuit. And we've no longer got any sort of menace whatsoever. A breath of relief. As soon as the gangplank touches the quayside, the terrors of the deep sea lighten. Walk taller, smile more readily. But what dreams may cling? Oh. Evidently we've got nightmares now. 2 minutes is nightmare strength. Okay then. Well, let's go collect our messages here. Nothing too much has changed. You can have drinks with the cheery man. I'm afraid he's going to stab us in the back because we didn't bring his daughter home. We tried to convince her, you know? We did our best. We found her. That's got to be worth something. Let's go turn in our port reports before that. Got strategic information. Hold on a moment. Yes, you can use it somehow. Do I use it? How do I use it? Will I have the option to convert it into something? And do I have the option to back out if I do? Want to try it? Assemble vital intelligence. Time to put the pieces together. All of these options will give you a single piece of vital intelligence, which you can trade to the admiral, the diplomat, and perhaps elsewhere. Oh, so the diplomat must be the Connate diplomat over in Port Carnelian. So we don't have. Oh, we don't have enough mirrors to do any of this here, though. We could use Memories of Distant Shores, Z stories, or moves in the game, which we do actually have. Wait, hold on a moment. Why can't we do that? Oh, we need 2 strategic information and a move in the great game to do that. But it seems like we require less of a check to do that because it's only mirrors of 30, which is the only one we would be able to do. But we don't have 2 strategic information to create this with. I also, as much as the Admiralty has been paying our bills, I kind of want to go elsewhere. I want to see if I can use the any vital intelligence that I pick up. Maybe with the diplomat, maybe I try to create my own information networks. The Admiralty is, I think, in character-wise, Helgan distrusts the Admiralty. He was a soldier for many years. His sister, Madame Sir Helga, was a loyal soldier, and she disappeared at Z. And there was no investigation, there was no nothing. She was just gone. And so he distrusts the authorities. So he, Sir Madam Helgan, well, he's more interested in finding his own way. He's stopped once he left the army. I guess the navy probably, considering how much Z there is, how much sea there is in the Untersee. Once he left the navy, he was determined to set out on his own path and not blindly follow the orders of others. Hence, for instance, why he talked to the daughter of the cheery man instead of trying to capture her off the bat and deliver the message. He's been trying to set his own path, so he will try to assemble vital intelligence. Maybe he'll try to side with the Connate, whom he's been fighting with so much. But he's certainly not just going to hand it over to the Admiral here. Okay, so we will just hand over port reports to the Admiral, because who the heck cares about port reports, honestly? Salt lines, everything standard. Demuse Island. You've been to Demuse Gate. Got some more Admiralty's favor because it's a new location. Now, do you need anything particularly? Anything in particular? Retrieve strategic information from Codex, far north of London. That is very, very reachable. That is absolutely close by. So, just going to double check here. Wow, amazingly, I didn't write any of this down. So we need to go to Codex for the Admiralty. Codex and speak with our contact. We've never met anybody that talks at Codex. So how the heck are we gonna... Okay, well, there might finally be some conversation over in Codex with all the mute folks there. And we don't have anything to cross off for any of those quests, because I guess we just never wrote them down. Cool. Other than that, we're done here. I may want to get some sleep instead of using up our... Well, actually, first, let's talk to the No, shoot, not this. Deliver the Sphinx Stone. That's the one. Oh, no, we got the event. Shoot. Shoot. I don't want the event. I want cheap, easy cash. Oh, well. Deliver the Sphinx Stone 2. A smiling woman in an elegant jonquil gown. Jonquil? Yeah, I think that's it. Jonquil gown places a gloved hand on your arm. Are you waiting for the ministry men? They won't be coming, but I have a proposition for you. Bright gown, bright hair. Her skin glows with health. Her smile is wise and merciless. That stone's full of old memories. The bazaar has been drinking them. She nods at the spires that loom over London, the dark limbs that sprawl through the streets. I have a better destination. Help us bring light here below, and we will reward you. Reward you richly. Rich reward, light, these are happy words. Or refuse, those bright, bright eyes, the unmistakable mark of the Dawn Machine. None understand the Dawn Machine, but all fear it. Who knows what its motives are, or hers? Initially, I want to refuse it. I don't want to deal with her. But I know that the other option is that I have to raise my veils to 75, and that's just not something that's going to happen. Ah, Deed's back. What's up, man? We have just had the event happen here, such that we can no longer trade for Sphinx Stone. Have you gone north before? I have indeed gone north. It sent us way out the way, and we ended up at a very snowy land. I can't quite remember what it was called. That certainly did not do happy things to us. But I believe that captain died, though, so we haven't been north with this captain here. Unfortunately for my role-playing, this is the salt line run over. Yes, this is from the salt line. We thought we'd be able to trade it off for a quick buck, but I guess we won't be able to now that we have this event. We either take her offer, or we have to climb all the way up to the tops of the buildings with 75 veils, which we don't have, and we're nowhere close to having either. So I guess we'll accept it, and we'll go to the Grand Geode and join a cult. Rich reward, light, these are happy words. A brilliant smile. Captain, thank you. You are clear of eye and clear of spirit. Bring the Sphinx Stone south to the Grand Geode. It was an admiralty base once. Now it's something wonderful. She kisses you warmly on the cheek. See you soon. Yeah, I know what you need. You want me to take this all the way to, what was it, Flit or something like that? No way in heck we're going to Flit. We can't get up there. We don't have 77 freaking veils to get up there. That's ridiculous. Suppose we'll talk to him. Captain, wait, she gave you an errand, didn't she? She serves a higher power, a bright one, but not a friendly one. I have a counter proposal. Will you listen? Tired eyes, sallow skin. He stoops like a clerk and coughs like a miner, but that frock coat is of the finest fabric and the newest cut. My name is Penstock, he says. The bazaar has been feasting on old memories from the salt lines. It only makes her more melancholy, and that's worse for all of us, but especially those who love her. So we found another use for the Sphinx Stone. We can set something right. You can take his commission, take it far away. We'll tell you where. You will be paid. Is it the same location? If you don't choose a legacy at the start, you'll get a really nice reward here. Well, we chose a legacy already. The issue is the last time we had this happen, it was he tried to set us up to Flit, and it required 75 veils. We never reached 75 veils, and we just had the Sphinx Stone sitting like a mill over our neck. We got 20 slots of cargo just stored up that we couldn't get rid of because it was worth 200 echo to us at the very least. Go with the grill? Yeah, I assume you mean grill is the, unless you're drenched in secrets. I've got 8, but that's nowhere near enough to get us to Vales. So I think we're going to reject him. I wasn't sure whether it would change where we sent it, like if it was just a random chance that we got sent up to Flit. But I think we will indeed take this to the Grand Geode, despite how little we trust them. So we're going to reject his plea. He smells of ammonia and sadness. You should go somewhere that does not smell of those things. Yeah. I concur. Please, if you change your mind, I'll still be here. Please. The Bazaar, she's been so sick with stories. Help me, help her. Well, I suppose we still have the option to ever trade that. Let's just double check how much we've got here. We've got 9 secrets. That'll increase that to, at max, 48. Not nearly enough to get up to Flit here. God, I wish gaining stats was easier for this sort of stuff. I wish I could, go find a thief and hire him real fast or something like that. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. For now, I think we can get drinks with the cheery man. I'm still very afraid that he's going to knife us in the back here. But I suppose we have sailors to spare. kind of kind of mean, but we've got the lives to spare, technically. Let's see. Drinks with the cheery man. You have an open invitation to the Medusa's head. So, from a logical perspective, if the cheery man wanted you dead, he'd make sure you didn't have an option. Oh, I see. Okay, that does make sense, actually. Well, we've got lots of options here. We could talk about the last constable here. I don't know if that's a great thing to open the night with. Let's start by sharing memories of London. Was he here when the bats stole her? The fall, like night it were, he says. He's deep in his cups by now, staring at the far wall as if it were glass. Came over the city all at once. You could hear their wings. You could feel them right down in your bones. Like a river roaring. Then the ground opened. The ground opened. He buries his face in his hands. A moment passes, and when he looks up, his face is calm. Haven't been that frightened since me old ma died. I'll tell you what, she was a terror. Made Mr. Stones look like a parlor maid. One time I couldn't have been more than 5 years old. Okay. Luckily, okay, it didn't lock off any of our options, so I think that's a good way to start the night. Let's discuss his daughter. It's we got him, talking about home and stuff. Why don't we move over to that? The cheery man waits in his office with a cold hearth and a decanter of fine brandy. At least she's alive. The cheery man leans forward on his chair, staring into his hearth. He presses at the coals with his cane. Try as he might, they will not catch the log. He slumps back in his chair and downs a glass of brandy. I wanted a reunion. I'll have one way or the other. That's something. One day, perhaps. He stares dully at the embers. At least she's alive. That's something. Well, let's talk of crime. Discuss some legitimate business. Who were his partners and his rivals? Queens, pawns, and bishops. The widow, the gracious widow. Don't make me laugh. She's gracious as a shark. Reckons she used to be a princess. She thinks she's a big noise in spite. The Topsy King, he runs the Flit, if you can call it running. Mad as paint. Fiduci, who's supposed to be a tomb colonist, but I don't know, runs the ring fights. December from the Calendar Council. Yeah, he's a wrong'un. And me. He smiles all teeth. You don't want to get the wrong side of me. Ooh, this is some big lore. Oh, this is more information than we've gotten in ages. So we finally know how London got dragged down here. I mean, we knew it was bats, just from vague background information that I'd found out. Actually, no, that's just the opening sprawl for it. London is down here, dragged by bats. We know that it evidently wasn't that long ago. Our theory of cyclical time could possibly mean that that's, you know, ages and ages ago. But now we have some major players in the underworld here. The Gracious Widow, the Topsy King in Spite, and the Calendar Council from December. Fascinating. As well as Fiduci, who is apparently a tomb colonist. Wow, that's amazing. That's so great. I'm getting into it. I'm starting to learn things. I'm so excited for this. Okay. His advice on smuggling. Might as well. It would be a crime not to pick his brain for educational purposes only, of course. A gold tooth winks as he smiles. I found a way to bring in sunlight. The trick's in the boxes. Paid off Mr. Fires, but it's a long way down and sunlight doesn't last, so I thought, why not cut it with moonlight? Hard to tell the difference down here. Has some funny effects, of course, but I'm looking into that. Could be useful in its own right. Interesting. That's very interesting. Okay, I think that's every single option we've explored here. And I somehow doubt he'll... I guess we could double check here. Yeah, no change for anything else. Well, we've had some drinks with the Cheery Man. We've discovered a bit about the underworld. We've learned what it was like when the bats originally stole London. Somehow. Not sure exactly how that one worked. And we've talked a little bit about the possibility of smuggling, or how smuggling works, maybe. Let's call it a night. It's getting early, late, whatever. Can't return, but that's okay. We've already gone through all the options here. He bids you good night and gives you a gift with his compliments. You have 3 casks of mushroom wine. Hey, we lost a little bit of terror as well. Might as well. Alrighty. Man, I wish we could get rid of the Sphinx down here. I don't trust her, the Grand Geode folk at all. They are definitely a creepy cult, and I do not want to deal with them too much. But I just can't possibly get the 75 veil required to get up to the flit. There's no way that's gonna happen. Not a chance. I can't offload it anywhere else if I do choose that option. So I've just got to offload it at the Grand Geode. We do have a bit of hull missing. Honestly, I might repair that. We've got plenty of Admiralty's favor, so it wouldn't be too much of an issue. What should we use our free evening, though, on? We've got those Nightmares Menaces now. I think having a night's sleep would at least be good for one of them. I think I'll wait to drop off the Sphinx Stone before I end up buying a new residence, the Elegant Townhouse, because that'll leave us with only 200 echo, which is a little low for everything. So I think I will simply spend the 10 echo required to sleep in the room above the blind helmsman. You don't have the echoes to go out roistering. Best stay at home. The rats keep you awake of nights with their muttering and skirmishing, but the bed is warm and the door has a lock. Only 1 terror lost, but we actually have the restful nights now. And apparently we've lost the menaces of yearning burning. Not sure what that one is all about. We know the people-eating menace, which is peckish, I think it is. But I don't know what the yearning burning is about. Maybe that has to do... I know it has to do with the Grand Geode stuff. Maybe that has something to do with daylight? Not quite sure. Anyways, do we have anything else to do here? We could buy a live specimen, but I don't really want to do that at the moment. Can't really adventure around London anymore. We don't need any more crew. I think 8 out of 10 is a perfectly fine amount to have. Could pick up a new recruit, see if we could get a different officer anywhere. Or we could cycle the Rose Market, because we haven't found anything even kind of related to the live specimens or the long boxes. I don't want to spend 500 echoes on a live specimen just to trade it for the Dauntless Temperance Campaigner. Not a chance. Maybe I cycled that out. I think I will, because we also haven't found any long boxes anywhere. Okay, nothing at all has changed. What on earth? What a waste. Dang. Alrighty then. Well, that's a bit of a shame. Let's go dock our ship, I suppose. We can fix up our ship. We've got plenty of favor to work with this. You may call on some of your admiralty's favor to have cheap, good quality work put on your ship. It does take up 3 favor. I thought it would only do the 1 for some reason. That's okay. And our ship is at full hull here. Perfect. So, I think next thing to do is just prop up our... Well, we got enough supplies and we got enough fuel now. I think we can head to the Grand Geode. So I think what we'll do is we'll head to the Grand... We'll head past the Iron Republic. We'll pick up, you know, port reports from all the other locations in the area. Head to the Iron Republic to grab some fuel. We'll grab a lot of it, as much as we can get, really, with our cargo hold being the way that it is. We'll drop off the Sphinx Stone and the Grand Geode and hopefully try not to deal with them as much as possible otherwise, because I don't trust them in the slightest. We'll head over to Port Carnelian to get some food here. We'll head up to Pigmote Island. Maybe we'll just sail off to the east. But we'll try to load up on as much fuel and as much food as we can, as much supplies as we can, and just sail off into the east area here. See if we can find anything about the Khanate. Because we do need to find the Khanate. They are evidently somewhere in the center of the map, according to the rumors that we've heard. Oh, and we do need to visit Codex in order to get some strategic information, I believe, for the Admiralty. And since we've actually got 1 and a move in the Great Game, we can turn that into vital intelligence. So maybe we do a quick run north instead to Codex. And I think we have something in Venderbite as well. Ah, right. We have the cook there. Okay. Since we've got the fuel for it, Venderbite, pick up the cook. Codex, get the information. I suppose we might as well stop and wither while we're there. Then we'll head back to Fallen London. Just kind of do the straight route up and down there. Then our next run will be down to the Iron Republic, the Grand Geode, Port Carnelian, Pigmote Isle, and elsewhere. I think that's a good plan. Let's double check anything we can trade in Venderbite, Codex, or Wither, though. Because I do want to make a little bit of profit while we can. See, Wither has Muter Salt. Alright, Wither trades all in non-echo, except for the anatomical cabinet, which we don't have. So they don't have anything too much there that we would like. Codex just has basic standard trades, and Venderbite wants mushroom wine and foxfire candles, neither of which give much of a profit, if anything at all. I think foxfire candles do nothing. Or they're sold at a loss, rather. We do have visions of the surface to trade with them, and as far as I've seen, there's nothing else we can do with them. I guess we can just trade that. Nothing too much to trade over there. Let's get ourselves checked out. We've got everything for fuel and supplies. All good. Got Got some mushroom wine. Oh, I guess we can just sell the mushroom wine that we have to Vendor Bite, where they need it. Everything else, though, pretty much a wash. I guess we can check if Sphinx Stone is tied to the last curator, or the first curator. I think it is. See if that fulfills one of his quest portions. We've determined that blue scintillic that was on Pigmote Isle was probably the Apossian one, but we didn't want to take it because I felt real bad for stealing what was essentially a war was waged over on Pigmote Isle, and I want to be in good relations with them, so we won't deal with that too much. I think that's everything we have to do in Fallen London here. Yep, doesn't look like it. Can't cycle the Rose Market. Or rather, we tried and it didn't do anything. I guess we can check new recruits to see if we can pick up an officer here. But it looks like we've gotten all the officers we can out of that location. So, we will head off to the north. Perhaps we'll hit up Hunter's Keep on the way back, get some free supply, progress the story there. Hopefully not too terribly far. We've got, I think we have satisfactory iron to pass a skill check on that. We tried using, I think it was hearts, to persuade that maid to come out when she went crazy, essentially. And it didn't work out, so I think we'll just use iron to try to capture her fully. But that relies on us getting to that event, so I think we're all good. Alright, and we are we close enough to this ship here to get some benefit off it? Doesn't look like it. I don't mind too much that our terror is kind of bobbing up and down all over the place here. Hello, blue ship. Keep us nice and calm, if you will. Fuel's going well. Supplies are too. And we have almost made it to Vendor Bite. Okay, here we come. Uh-oh. Nightmares. Blast. A vast eye, it knows you. You cannot evade its gaze. A black, unsleeping taste. Again and again, you are alone on the wide black sea. Z. The eye is aware. You begin to suffer nightmares of a vast eye. Well, we've got a single restful night. I have a feeling that probably using or getting to the fifth nightmare, that involved taking on a lot of terror and a lot of risk. So I don't quite think it'll be better to let the nightmares come rather than to just crush them via force of will. Alrighty, so we know that little restaurant's here. Let's go gather the port reports first. And let's go check in with the curator, see if anything we have in our hold is interesting to him. Maybe the Sphinx Stone, maybe the mushroom wine, because I don't think he's seen either of them yet. Nope, nothing to him interesting. Okay, let's go check out that restaurant then. Fine cuisine in Vendor Bite. Now that would be something. A corkscrewed street. The twisty tip of an odd little side street, welcoming yellow light glows from gilt-lettered windows of a restaurant. The sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up, a gray mustache pokes impertinently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in. A bandaged poissonnier at Venderbite seeks passage with the Z captain sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. Fantastic. Okay, so we could sample it with 60 echo, which is, though we have a lot, I think is a bit much. We could offer a strange catch, which we don't have, and which we need for both Maybe's daughter and the Clattery heir to expand their quest lines. I think we'll just pick him up. Yeah. Let's recruit him. The bandaged poissonnier has long wished to travel, but you'll need to outfit his galley to exacting standards. Avid enthusiasm. My captain, the things we will catch, that we will consume, that we will experience. We will discover the seventh sensation, you and I, the taste that one tastes with the heart. You there, sailor, careful with the braising alembic. It's worth more than your wretched soul. All right. Well, we picked him up, I suppose. Ooh, now that we have the bandaged poissonnier, we evidently can use him to explore Venderbite more accurately. Fascinating. Familiar corkscrewed street, hear you at the vengeance of Jonah again. Your feet or your nose has brought you back. The welcoming yellow glow is like the windows of your own home. The terrors of the Z recede a little. Okay, so we lost a little bit of terror. Thought it would be a little more, a little better than that. A single terror reduction? That's a little weak compared to how much we spent on him. Oh well, that's fine. Nothing here interesting to us, except for selling our cask of mushroom wines. Picked up entirely for free, which is lovely. And we can sell our vision of the surface, though I'm wondering if we should. Wonder if it will be useful for something else. Especially considering we're going to that place where light is sort of a theme, that being the Grand Geode. I think we'll actually keep that on us, just in case. And no tomb colonists to trade for. Before we leave, officers, the Grand Poissonnier gives us hearts and pages, which is better off than our cook. So what? Can we speak to you for free for anything? Supplies, muter salt, and a strange cat. So doesn't look like we can talk to him at all. Wow, we've got a lot of people on our ship that want to talk to us via a strange catch. A bit of a shame. So I haven't found a single strange catch in this playthrough, and I'm not sure how I found them even in the last ones. So that'll be something that we have to figure out how to do. For now, let's head up to Codex. Can I see your map? Sure. We've just been sort of headed up and down the coast so far. We tried to look for Mount Palmerston to get our zoop for the... I can't remember his name right now. The Venturer, that's the one. But it was not where we thought it was, and the Ragged Crow had a 500 health moth of some description. I forget what it was called. I think it was like a terror moth or something like that. That I just did not want to deal with, so I kind of bugged out of the north side pretty fast. We were also running a little lower on food and fuel. And so we just hit the salt lines, headed back to Fallen London, where we got the event that no longer lets us trade with Fallen London, which was sad, because we had such a good trade route between the salt lines and Fallen London here. That's okay. Let's see, where are we at right now? We're... Actually, for some reason, we're in a black zone over here. Ooh, Lifebergs. Does he see us? We'll turn the other way so he doesn't. Uh-oh. Does he see us? Just let me past you. I don't want to mess with you, man. Ah, well, I'm sure you'll find strange catches eventually. Yeah, that's sort of been my Shoot, we're not going to be able to get past him. That's sort of been my call on it, because we'll talk to him eventually. Okay. Lifeberg, don't mess with me, please. Gain some supplies and a little bit of terror. That's okay. I just want to get, I guess, over to Wither. We'll collect the port report here, and then over to Codex. I don't know quite why there's so much black up here, because we've definitely been by here. Perhaps something's changed and we hadn't noticed. Fuel's doing fine. Supplies are even better. Okay. The House of Question. This, I don't recall the last time we were at Wither. So, maybe, hey, maybe that's why the map is all blanked out. Let's go check it out. Northwest of Wither Town, the House of Question stands alone. House of the Question stands alone. Here, the initiates of the house make offerings to the three gods of the deep sea, and perhaps a fourth who is not a god. It's the one place in Wither where you can sometimes get a straight answer for a price. Gain Salt's attention, 10 echo, Z story, a secret, and that. Ask about the drowned man for 100 echo. It's a little costly. And I think we'll just pick up Salt's attention here. The walls around Salt's shrine are written over with tales. Bring it a story. Sure we shall. No echo. Your words sink into the silence like stones onto quicksand. The initiate listens, eyes closed, committing every detail to memory. Leave now. If you see where I write your story, it's the worst kind of luck. Okay. Who's the drowned man, though? I've got the echo to do it. I'm so curious about this. Okay. Let's ask about the drowned man. The initiates of the house are reluctant to speak of him, but you may be able to bribe them enough to gain a few tenuous snippets. The law and the lost. The drowned man's brothers, and sisters, gave him to the knife and the lacra. Lacra? Laker. Lacra. We'll call it a lacra. Here we have no lacra, only snow. Snow comes from the north. Lacra comes from pain. We have it a little easier. Interesting. I wonder what that means. Curious. Okay, well, we'll pick up the port report here. Do not want to give shore leave. Our terror is not that bad. We'll gain all of those questions here, and I suppose we'll explore the town as well. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have an irritating habit of answering a question with a question here and there. There are odd sights tucked away. Who'll try, who'll buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. Okay. This is definitely human flesh. The unaccountably peckish tells us that much. Tyrant's treat. Ooh, no, it was a tyrant moth, I think it was. So this is that must be the moth we found over by the Ragged Crow. What the heck? What's life without a bit of risk? Hopefully this doesn't kill us outright. High risk challenge. Let's do it. What exactly is Tyrant's treat? The vendor is vague. It looks like something. It looks something like a charred stick dripping with bluish fluid. Hold your nose. You follow the vendor's advice, holding your nose as you swallow, but the smell, something like rotting fruit, still makes you gag. The stick is leathery. The blue stuff is rubbery as drying mucus. You fail to keep it down and disgrace your captaincy there on the street. Oh, we gained some hunger from it. And a bit of terror. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that was like a moth leg or like a antenna or something from that tyrant moth. Oh well. Double check the shops. Oh, apparently it costs Z stories to buy Mutrasalt here. And Tales of Terror to buy supplies. So we do have plenty of Tales of Terror as far as I know. Oh, maybe not. We just have the 2. That's okay. We don't particularly need any of that. Let's get ourselves over to Codex, though. Lots of lifebergs up here. I don't want to mess with them. They have way too much health for me to mess with them. Or rather, I have way too little health. I've not particularly got into a good combat stance in this game. I just don't know how to really deal with the monsters. The ships I do okay in. I know how to stay out of their cones of fire and stuff, but the sea beasts or the Z beasts are really difficult to combat. Okay. So let's compile our port report, obviously. And let's go past the strategic information for the Admiralty here. Make a pass sign to a mute exile. Nod, nod, shrug. She hands you an oilskin pouch. 9 foolscap sheets of beautifully written cipher, gathered up from who knows what corners of the Untersee. You look up. She points across the water towards the distant lights of Withertown. She shakes her head. No home there for her, not now. She points to your ship and raises her eyebrows. Ooh, is she asking to come aboard? Dang, I feel bad. I don't want, 9 zailors aboard our ship, but the way that it presents all of all of the people that want to come aboard makes me feel really bad for them. I think I'll permit it. Though the other zailors clutch their Z talismans and make signs against evil, the folk of Wither are uncanny. Those who are exiled to Codex must be more so. Welcome her aboard. She can't or won't speak, but it's clear she knows the Z. She'll do well this one. Oh, I guess we gained a little terror for it. But we gained Salt's attention. Again? I thought we already had that. Maybe not. Oh well, we'll eat through our supplies a little more quickly, but not so terribly that we can't get ourselves back here. I'm actually more concerned about our fuel situation, but I think we should be fine. Is this anything interesting? Nope, it's just a rock. And what we thought was snow, which I have in my head is actually moth scales, is still over by the Ragged Crow, up to our northeast here. Got a collection of bats. Wow, they're really avoiding us. Ah, there we go. Do they know we're here? Yes, they do. And just like that, they're all gone. Alrighty. Delicious corpses, but we do need our terror reduced. We're at 56, which is kind of high. Over the side, their eyes are still fierce in death. Zailors sweep them overboard with brooms, careful not to touch them. That's okay. Our supply situation is well above what we need from it. So we'll just keep on pottering down here. Looks like there's something in the water over there. Do I want to see what it is? Not particularly. Oh, that's not much to fight for at all. Okay. We've got a nightmare as well. The sea is bright as milk. False stars above are black on a pitchy bed. Something's watching you. Its gaze enfolds your boat. You are transparent as glass. We just flee from it. We've got a firm chance of that. I don't know if we want to confront the nightmare, though. Like, we got it to 4. We never got it to 5, but I don't know what's going to happen should we do that. And our hearts aren't really that high as well. Even this first challenge is only a 70% chance, so I think we'll just flee it. Gained 2 terror. We lost a nightmare strength, as well as a restful night for it. An escape. The sea churns in your wake. You pull away from the eye into the shallower waters of waking, but terror clings. All right, let's go deal with this this crab here. All right, a quick and easy section here. I think this just gives fragments, so we'll take it for the hunger. Let's see, how far out are we? Oh, apparently there's a black section here. Come, let's explore then together. Cool, a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, this is a real empty segment of ocean here. Oh, we did say we were going to visit the sisters. So let's go check on them. I think we should have enough time passed to call them a visit. Call upon them in a visit, rather. I think that just has to do with the something awaits us. All right. So let's go talk. Well, let's go pick up a port report. Let's go talk to Cynthia. We haven't talked to Cynthia this entire time, I think. Cynthia is the eldest, melancholy, pensive, and occasionally dramatic. Cynthia grasps your arm and whispers to you. Her eyes are wide and blue. Her hair is wild and tangled. Bats might nest in it. It seems to you that you are sitting on a hillside above a wide blue lake, listening to the story of a murder. An axe and net, blood on scented water. Another chop, Cynthia asks. You barely touched your food. Here, I'll have the maid wrap something up for you. You can't be hungry. Not safe to be hungry. So we do know that Cynthia is salt. Phoebe is storm, and Lucy is stone. No, Phoebe is stone and Lucy is storm. I think that's it. Well, it doesn't matter too terribly much. But we gained some iron, actually. That's nice. We gained some terror as well as a tale of terror. Some supplies. Lost our hunger and got some iron. Sweet. All right, nothing else to do here. Let's set off. Alrighty, we've made it back to Fallen London. Ooh, and we've got, before we even do that, got 2 pieces of strategic information. And we know from last time that we could use that with our move in the Great Game to get some vital intelligence. Assemble vital intelligence, time to put the pieces together. Make sense of moves in the game, that hidden agenda. The bigger picture. They thought no one would recognize the pattern. They hadn't counted on you. Perfect. Now what the heck do we do with this? I don't know. Especially for spies, diplomats, or pirates. I don't want to feed them just straight to the Admiralty here. Unlocked when Supremacy London is blank. Vital intelligence can be created by 2 pieces of strategic information, which we just did, or earned through spy networks and some other opportunities. I want to figure out how the spy network stuff works. So I don't want to just turn this in blindly. Ask if there's anything particularly you need so we can get our next quest here. Okay. This actually gives us an information we didn't have, which was the location of Port Cecil. Cecil, something like that. So the Admiralty wants us to go to Port Cecil, where I think, let's see, right, the Nomic Gallivant wants us to go as well. It's lucky that even though we haven't turned any of this information into him, he knows that it's been picked up somehow. This is actually, and so we know that that is northeast of London somewhere. So now we have an approximate area for it. Well, a very broad approximate area of it. We've searched around quite a bit for where it could be. Just check port reports, turn them all in. Yep, everything has been chill. Just double checking our cargo space. So we don't want to overbook on fuel again. Wither, everything standard, codex. Yep, and yep. Alrighty, let's head back here. So, now that we are back, the gentleman who will tell us to go up to Flit still is not going to be taken up on that offer. We still are nowhere near the amount of veils we have, or we need to get up there, and I don't expect us to ever be that close. I think we're all done recruiting officers from Fallen London, considering we've recruited like 5 at this point. So I think we're good with that. We can check in with the Rose Market here, where again, they are still trading the same trades. And we don't have the something awaits us, I guess, so we can't do anything about that. Suppose we could just sleep the night away. Oh no, this actually doesn't require anything. Okay. Anything except some echo, so it would seem. But we will do that so we have our restful night to fight away. Oh, we didn't actually get our terror reduced. Interesting. So we are already at 56. I know it's 70. In the Iron Republic, there's something we can do if we have our terror above 70. So I might just head all the way down there with our lights off and see if we can build it up that way. I probably shouldn't have slept like that then. Maybe we hit the Grand Geode first if we don't have 70 by the time we make it over to where the Iron Republic is. We've got lots of fuel now. We've got enough fuel to make it there. And our supply situation is also doing pretty well. We're at 5. So I think we're just going to set out here. I don't think there's anything left that I can think of we can do here. Nothing to sell except for the Scintillic that we're keeping around right now. Could talk to the Scholar and sell some of this stuff, but we've got other uses for it. Perhaps the extraordinary implication, but I feel like we could turn that into something also more useful. So I think not. Let's just get the heck out of here. Let's get down to the Ground Geode eventually. I want to drop the Sphinx Stone off properly. Get it out of my inventory. Everything is nice and dark. We could visit Mutton Island. We'll see if they've gone to their cannibalism sort of deal yet. If nothing else, we'll get the port report from it. We're not getting terror at the rate that I was expecting. I think we'll probably have to head to the Grand Geode first. That's fine, we can double back. It's not too terribly far from it. Ooh, they've started. Okay. Approach Mutton Island. Is there something in the air today? A restless breeze. Approach the dock. It's probably nothing. The moment passes. The ship slides into dock. Time passes on Mutton Island. Has something changed? Yes, it has. Oh, it absolutely has. Right, we have to pay to get our port report here. Oh, this is different. Okay, they sail around the Z. They sail the Z around the island and mend their nets by the harbor. They see all that happens here, but you'll need coin to open their mouths. Before they were saying all sorts of bad things were happening, but nothing to report. Two fresh-faced fishermen are glad to greet you. Can't think of anything, Captain. We've had a good catch. You present another coin. The other fisherman shakes his head. It's true, Captain. No news here. The first nods. You can tell the Admiralty all's in order. Their eyes brighten with their smiles. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Alrighty. I guess let's go check out the... Well, exploring the shore or visiting the hilltop above town. I wonder if this will tell us more than exploring the shore since it has a check on it. Let's give it a try. Okay, same thing as last time. We get a lot of fragments for that one. Wow. But the noise from the caves around town. We tried to follow them up there last we came. I think that was in a fog, though, so maybe that's why they aren't doing it now. Interesting. Okay. Well, something has definitely changed here. So we're just going to set off from there. We'll avoid this ship, actually, because we want to build up our terror before we hit the Iron Republic. Command Canal shouldn't be too terribly far off either. Yeah, here it is. One day, perhaps, I'll have enough supply and fuel to make it up to the surface. That'll be a day I take more risks, though. So, I wonder what the surface is like. I wonder if we'll have actual sunrises and sunsets and all that sort of thing. I will not have to keep our lantern on to see if the BCs will be the same or if they'll change up on the surface. That'll be really interesting. But we made it to the Command Canal. So, let's go assemble our port report here. Pretty perfunctory, as per standard. And we'll listen for the gossip. Ah, excellent. We've got another knife and another move in the great game to pick up. Nothing has changed in the shops. We're headed down. Yeah, and at the rate we're currently getting terror, we won't need to head to the Grand Geode first before we can do whatever it is with 70 terror in the Iron Republic that we can do. $67. Okay, we're doing all right. Getting a little lower on fuel and supplies. We'll be able to pick up fuel, obviously, at the Iron Republic, but the supplies... No, I think the supplies should be able to last us to Port Carnelian. That's the one. All right, we're at 69. We are right by the area where we will get our terror off. I wonder what this is going to give us, because it's been there since the beginning. We just never had the terror to do anything about it. So I'm super interested in this. Yep, enter the fog bank. All right, we at 70? We're at 71. Perfect. Just enough to do something odd to it. I'll have to make sure that I don't select that option, any options that lock that off. So that does require the something awaits you. Shoot, we'll do it first. Listen, your fears line up on the quay, waving like old lovers. As you touch the dock, your fears leap fondly into your waiting arms. They dissolve. Gather the oily scraps they left. The higher your terror, the more fragments you receive. Okay, interesting. So it converts them into... Does it convert all of them into fragments? I'm still at 71. Yeah, weird. Okay, if it doesn't actually change that, that's a bit worrying. We may just sail right back up to Fallen London when we get done with the Grand Geode in that case. Because I really thought it would clear it out somehow. Let's go compile a port report, I suppose. Tale of Terror gained. Gesundheit conspiracy open for business. Oh, we gained some hearts from that, and as well as a memory of distant shores. Okay. So we don't have the something awaits us here to open up the full market. But I don't think there was anything there that we would be able to trade with to make a profit anyway. So let's just get our fuel set up here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, right. We can't buy more because we're already full up. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, that's totally good. And it didn't change our terror whatsoever. So I hope this Grand Geode stuff does not increase our terror anymore, or else we could be facing another mutiny. And it would be unfortunate if both brother and sister here died in the same way by getting their terror spiked at the Grand Geode. Oh no, don't look at us. Look not at us, please. We're outpacing them, at least. We've got our lights off. Maybe they'll lose us soon. Oh! Or maybe not. Okay. Do we need to burn to get rid of them? We're outside their field of vision, as far as I can tell. I think we're good. I think we can sound the all clear here. Still a ways off of the Grand Geode, but there are other dreadnought ships down here. Okay, perfect. We got that something awaits us. And we have made it to the Grand Geode, so let's offload this stuff. First things first. Alright. This is Station 5. Deliver the Sphinx Stone. The bright-eyed sequencer sent you here. Another equally bright-eyed quartermaster awaits you and your stones. The stone's marvelous. The bazaar is the enemy of our light. It's the enemy of anyone with eyes, too. Nasty, greedy, tentacled thing. Well, our light will sort it out, you'll see. Because you have eyes, and wonderful eyes they are, too, if I might say so. This stone of yours will help, and we reward those who help us. Here, a bundle of banknotes. Here, a monograph on perception. And here... She leans forward and kisses you once on each eyelid. As she draws back, the world has changed. You always knew the Neath was a place where the laws of the sunlit world did not apply, but now, somehow, you can see it. Is this chaos or freedom? Oh boy. The quartermaster directs her laborers to pack up the stone. The Z is quiet. The geode glows like a lamp. Gained a secret. Gained some mirrors. Okay, that's good. We have a searing enigma. Oh, this is new. You delivered the last load. What, the very last load ever? Okay. You now have Rising X Supremacy, the Dawn Machine. The Dawn Machine. The sun. The sun, the sun. Oh, okay, I see the sun. Well, we joined a cult. Not quite what I'd meant to do. Gather the port report. Do we even want to do the something awaits us here? I'm very afraid that it'll send our terror spiking. We're already at 73. Okay. We did it, and it lost us 5 terror here and gained us a memory of distant shores. Maybe now that we have... Well, no, it doesn't look like it. It looks like this is the typical speak with someone in authority monologue. A thing has happened. The sunstroke hasn't changed because it's higher than 0. So this element of dawn thing is still prohibitively expensive. But our terror is just way too high. We've got to head straight for Fallen London and avoid accumulating terror as much as possible. No, 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 no. Do not try to kill me, please. Glorious Dreadnought. As much as possible, I need to avoid conflict, combat, anything that could increase my terror here. I wonder if we'll be able to pick up more fragments if we have something Oasis by the time we get to the Iron Republic, since we've got so much terror already and it didn't take it down anyway. Oh, Dreadnought. Just circle ways away. Yeah, you just sail off of that ways. Thank you, my good fellow. And hey, we just hit 70, which gives us enough terror to do that option again. We won't be able to access the market, but that's totally, totally fine. Uh-oh. Does he see us? Questionably. Okay. No, doesn't look like he does. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Well, 50-50 chance on capturing her alive. Do we risk the zailors? We've, the zailor's gone, run mad. She runs the ship, cudgel in hand, smashing comrades to the deck. She cries, he's angry. Oh, he's angry. We got a 50-50 chance. We'll give it one shot. Iron 70 fail. I cannot believe that. Actually, no, we'll give her 2 chances here. And we've lost Storm's attention somehow. How do we lose it by... Okay. Curious. We'll give it another shot, and if not... Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, we'll shoot her dead. Oh, and we lost half our crew from that, too. Dang. All right, let's say hello to our fears. Greetings, fears. And don't have any of the... Well, A, we don't have a forward slot. And B, we don't have the Devil's Bones dice, nor the Stygian Ivory to trade for that. Do we buy up some fuel here? We're at 11. But I would like not to have to come back here for fuel. Though we are eventually headed back to Pigmote Isle and Port Carnelian. Left you when you were at 10 Terror, what happened? Well, we just sailed around a lot, really. Got some stuff done. We turned in our Sphinx Stone at the Grand Geode and got kissed on our eyes for the trouble along with 1,000 Echo, which was great. But unfortunately, the 1,000 Echo resulted in us getting some sort of yearning and some connection to the Dawn Machine, which I don't understand. I'm not sure what that is. Haven't heard anything about it yet, other than from, I believe, the man in Fallen London who wanted the alternate option, which we couldn't take. But we got it out of our inventory, and that's all that matters. That's really the most important thing for us, frankly. yes, the moment we're planning on what we're going to do after this, I think what we're going to do is head to Fallen London to remove our terror. We've got 70 terror, even though we got fragments off of it. It hasn't reduced it in any way. And I think after that, we'll head... Checking the quests here. We could head to Port Cecil, which is up in the north. I think we might do that. Yeah, I think we'll head to... Once we head to Fallen London, we'll try... I really want to revisit Pigmoat Isle. I'm so invested on what's happening there. But we'll head up to the northeast area, because Port Cecil is somewhere there, and we have a quest from both the Nomic Gallivant as well as the Admiralty to head there. And it'll expand out our view of things as well. So I think that's what we're going to do, which in that case means that I'm going to pick up as much fuel as possible here in order to prevent having to buy it in Fallen London. I think we'll pick up maybe up to 20 fuel. It's a lot of fuel, but we're going to use it all eventually. And we've got the funds to spare at this point. So 20 fuel. We are loaded up now. Oops, that's not the correct way to turn. My bad, ship. Alrighty, we'll head back up to Fallen London. We don't need to stop anywhere, because we've got all the port reports from the locations we visited. And we don't really have anything to trade in any of those locations either. So we'll just head straight on north to Fallen London. Pretty quiet, pretty empty, nothing interesting goes on. Oh, a Gilly Flare. Can we charge up our weapons before it knows we're here? Seems like that answer is a no. Let's keep backing up here. Uh-oh, is it gonna hit us? Yes, it will, and we'll miss our shot too. Alright, well, we would need our hull repaired in Fallen London anyway, so... Alrighty. I've still never gotten a port report for Visage anyway. So we'll, oh, shoot, our supplies are really low. We'll scoop it up. Oh, we got a strange catch! We got a strange catch, yes! You can't get a port report from this? Aw, man, so the menu's a lie? Dang it. But we got the strange catch. Just because the requirement for something is 0. Ah, I see. Okay. A spreading stain, it's gone. You're left with a gooey gloves and a buttery smell. And this purple thing, is it an egg? A heart? A less fortunate traveler dissolved and shriveled to mauve ruin. Perhaps put it somewhere safe. We've got the strange catch. We can finally talk with our crew. Who do we talk to, though? I want to talk to the Clad Area. We know her father has contacted us in Venderbite. And I think considering our made-up background in our head here, where we've lost our sister at sea, I think it is important to us that we correctly identify her father to us. Though, honestly, that might make her leave our ship. She might want to just get off at Venderbite and talk to him. Who knows? Who knows? One thing that I will do now that I've got so much money, I'm going to upgrade to, what was I think a mansion or something of that sort. And I will get myself a will, write that down as soon as I can, which should just be when we get back. It'll use up all the money that we've just got for that Grand Geo trip. But we'll still have about 500 left. by the time we get done with purchasing that location and writing the will in. And that makes sense with our character too, because our sibling was lost at sea, and so it makes sense that we would want to make sure that we had. Oh, it only took away hunger. Dang. It would make sure that we would want to have a keen sense of how things were going to be distributed after we die, since they didn't. Well, we got another nightmare. Again, I think we'll cut it up here. Well, yeah, so what are we at present? We have 1. If we reach a 0, the nightmare will fade entirely. Yeah, so we'll just take that. We don't need our nightmares to mess us up at the moment. Oh, we've only got 62. I guess this is from combat with... Here we go. Nightmares end. The weight has lifted. Your dreams have passed. That's good, isn't it? Right, as I was saying. Whoa. Oh, that's the land. Okay. Oh my goodness. For a second, I was like, what is this area here? Has that always been blue? All right, we're going to give ourselves over to this time. Because last time, I think we lost Salt's attention. So let's give ourselves over to it here. The flood tide. Your crew watches in alarm as you collapse to the boards. Tears burst from your eyes. Your body is racked with sobs. It passes as suddenly as it started, but your thoughts are stained dark with unlikely grief. Some fragments and a bit of terror. Maybe that wasn't worth it. Okay, I don't know why. That looked exceptionally blue. I thought that was like another part of the ocean for a reason. That's why I crashed into it. Okay, that was kind of funny. Seriously, it looks so blue. All right, lesson learned, lesson learned. Don't get distracted and sail into the shore just because it looks a little marshy. Let's get our terror back in control here. We'll actually need to repair our hull up as well. Oh no, hopefully this isn't giving us any more menace of nightmares. We'll see. We got the Breath of Relief. No nightmares from it, though. Luckily. Collect all of our Harbor Master's stuff. We actually will take on a recruit here, because we are low on crew now. So let's check our recruit status first. Ooh, a doctor here. Perfect. 50 echoes, that's totally acceptable. Sure. I will take on a new officer, even though I need the crew. That's fine. Please, I must leave this place. I can work my passage. I'm a doctor. Welcome aboard. Thank you. This is mine. This is mine. It'll do very nicely. Excuse me. I will just turn up the oil lamp a touch. I dislike the dark. Okay, that's all right. We can pick up free crew over in the Iron and Misery Funging Station. Let's see, do we have anything else to do here? We need to put our ship in dry dock to go repair it all for cheap. Yeah, which take all our favors from us, unfortunately. We no longer have enough to call on the Admiralty here. But since we... Oh no, we don't even have access to him anymore. Okay. Well, let's go deliver the port reports at least. Yep, all of this is pretty standard. Ah, shoot, I clicked the wrong button to get out of there. Grand Geode. Quaker's Haven. We're getting along that well, you say? Yeah, I too believe that that is not something quite as upright as normal. But we no longer have enough favors to talk to the Admiralty. That's fine, because we have the vital intelligence. Oh, and a searing enigma. We have the vital intelligence that is burning a hole in our pocket, and we don't want to give that to the Admiralty anyway. Oh, usable in combat. There's a submerged Z-beast to the surface. Fascinating. I did not know that. Okay. For now, our terrace is still at 55. No, it's probably because of our Iron Republic report. Dang, I should have paid closer attention to it to see what was up. Oops, this is the tutorial, not what I was looking for. I think it's in lodgings. Here it is, an elegant townhouse. A good address on Hollow Street. It won't be cheap. Zailors service. You have your crew cart your things from the blind helmsman to your new address. If anyone respectable calls, they'll pass as servants. Resting is now more expensive, but more effective. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. So let's go and visit our study. Create a shrine to stone. Unlocked with a captivating treasure. Create a whispering trophy case. Oh, that requires 7 strange catches, not just the 1. A monstrous almanac. A serene aquarium. We don't have... Oh, we could do that. We only need 1 live specimen to do so, as well as the 7 secrets. Maybe that's a good idea there. Oh, that'll use up a lot of echo for us. But I want to get the will. I think if we do that, we won't have enough echo anyway to pick up that catch. Probably a bad idea at the moment anyway. But no, I want to get this will written down. The court of chancery, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom it may devour. Ensure it doesn't get its lion tentacles on your property when you're gone. Should you die, this will ensure that your heir retains your lodging and any heirlooms you've accumulated. Baseborn and fowling piece. The lawyer peers at you like a vulture composed of crocodiles. Come now, she creaks. There's a few years in you yet, but your caution does you credit. Sign here? No, the ink is fine. This isn't the brass embassy. Oh, it only took 100 echo. For some reason I thought it would take 200 here. Sweet. And we've got a will. We have the ability to pass something down to our follow-ups here. Well, finally. Well, this is the first time I've been so carefully... I have the echo to do it now. I've got plenty of echo to have this happen. I want to talk to the Clad Arriere, though. Let's go talk over the strange catch here about her father. Her father. She becomes more talkative when she has something to cut. Perhaps you can get her to say more about her father. Who was he then? There's a fluncing, deboning, and an orderly arranging of scales from large to small. This was the creature's favorite organ, she says, working briskly with tweezers and a blade. Don't touch it. The purple bits are toxic. She only turns to personal matters when she's had a chance to rinse her fingers. I get my proficiency with metal from both sides of the family, she says, watching your expression closely. Then, Mother was a favorite with Mr. Iron. She says that they only work together, that Mr. Iron sponsored her work and provided her with tools, sharper tools that do not bend so easily. Can we tell her yet? No, we cannot. So what we need is seeking knowledge of Clattery Heart, Adam's Way, learning how to retrieve. Do we have to have all of this? You had the echo with your first captain. Well, I didn't think it would go quite so terribly that quickly. We know better now. We've learned from our mistakes. Cladary? Honestly, I thought it was a name, frankly. I thought it was like the heir for the Cladary family. But I've got no clue what that actually means. Hey, if one of you wants to look it up, though. I could romance her. Could do that. I don't know how good a captain sleeping with his crew would go. But it's better than than Maybe's daughter, whoever she ends up being. Okay, but I think we've got to pursue the Cladary heir's quest to basically its completion here. Or at least further than what this was. Or at least the point that we are currently at. Because it doesn't look like we have the ability to talk to her about her father. We really are just sitting on that information for quite a while here. But that's everything we can do with her. Unless we wanted to increase our hearts, which we really don't. Let's see, do we have anything else to do in London? Doesn't look... I can't think of anything. We've turned in all our port reports. We don't want to give any of our more valuable items to the Admiralty as well. We could, let's see here, visit the Scholar here, because we have a Searing Enigma. Oh, but it's a Dread Surmise that would send her or him off into the distance here. And I believe a Searing Enigma is actually useful for... Is that somebody up in Codex? I think that might be the Hunter in Codex. Oh well. At least we got a strange catch. So we progressed the story a little bit with the Cladary heir. I believe... Yeah, we need a live specimen to further that even more. We know where to get one with the Labyrinth of Tigers here. But I'd like to not do that because that is a rather expensive purchase. I think that's everything we have to do in Fall in London. I've also realized that the stream time, we are actually at our ending point here. Next time, I'll have to remember this for next time. We want to head north to head up to Port Cecil, somewhere in the northeast of Fall in London, so I assume this is around this area, for both the Admiralty and for the Nomic Gallivant. Since we're heading out further here, we're getting kind of closer to the central sea area here, which could be where the Khanate is, which would be where we might be able to pick up some spider silk for the Merchant Venturer. Other than that, we might be able to pick up somebody at Codex, a new officer here, with our Searing Enigma now. But all of these things will be for the next stream, which will be next Tuesday. I believe it's Thursday. That will be next Tuesday at 3 PST, so feel free to tune in. Thanks for sitting with me for this one. We've gotten a little further. We finally got ourselves an ironclad will to pass on to our heir here, and we've expanded our quest line with the Cladary heir. Yeah, that'll be something great to expand on. We've offloaded all of our Sphinx Stone, maybe the last of it ever, if that text box was to be believed, or if I'm reading too much into it, perhaps not. But these will all be things for next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow playing Sevtech Ages if you feel like watching me burn that through the Minecraft mod. We're actually getting great progress on that, so I'm happy about that. If not, I will see you next Tuesday when I return to Sunless Sea. All right. Thanks so much for joining in. Cheers, everybody. I'm headed out.